Kicking it with Gives a Minute on Kick. Hey! First things first, I am using, for the first time in quite a while, I'm using the X264 encoder to encode this stream, as opposed to the Apple hardware encoder. I don't know why, I just thought I'd change and see what happens. So I'm just gonna I guess I'm going to just check. Okay, I mean, probably should be fine, but I just wonder if it's better or worse. So I did see a little glitch in the countdown. I don't know what that crap was. And I did get a hardware encoded overload already. It's also 1,000 freaking degrees here right now. Hey Siri, temperature?
It's about 32 degrees outside.
It's 32 Celsius. Hey Siri, what's 32 Celsius in Fahrenheit?
32 degrees Celsius is 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
89.6 Fahrenheit skins. So it's pretty warm today. I don't know how that'll play out with the M1 Max Pro Ultra. Should be all good. But I have changed the hardware encoder to the X264. Oh shit, I see stallage. Is that at my end? Dude, it's stalling. Okay, so this was a bad move. A bad move. Yeah, right, that's not cool. I wonder if I can change it back during a stream. Can I do that? I guess I bet you can't. Stream outputs, video encoder. Yeah, it's grayed out, so you can't change it. Okay, I might have made the wrong choice here to use this. Good little experiment though. I guess I'll know not to do it again. So failing that, if this does all go to shit, well, at least we're trying, but I'll put it back to the hardware encoder after the stream. But I wanted to come on here and continue the conversation about the Uluru mission that Marty and I are undertaking. Marty doesn't know this yet, but I spoke to my friend who lives out there, mentioned him yesterday, Luke Campbell, and he was saying the best time of the year to come to Alice Springs is around August. So that's quite good. That gives us the best part of a year to get this stuff sort of nailed down, right? Get it all under control, get everything together. We got a little whiles, we got a lot to do, and we got enough time to do it. So with that in mind, I wanted to run it via you, even though right now I only see 3 viewers on Kick. So if anyone's watching and they're not on kick.com, come on over. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I wanna run the ideas of my pitch. And I want to see if I'm way off base or if I'm on target or if you think that there's something else I'm missing. So starting at the very beginning, yes, Marty and I could do this trip and not create content, right? We could spend seven weeks. Did I almost said 7? I did live in New Zealand last year. We could spend 7 weeks driving to Alice Springs and not create content. But that's not me, right? If I was to do that, I'd feel like it's a lost opportunity. So I'm going to create content, and I was thinking I should vlog it, right? Like I'm on it. Who did that? Somebody followed. Peachy. Thanks, Peachy.
No.
You're not coming up there. Get back
now. No.
Oh, shit. Thank you, Peachy. There is a little delay for when you can start conversing, but thank you for the follow. Yeah, so, and then I thought, well, okay, I could vlog it. I could create content once every 3 or 4 days, create a vlog, or I could live stream it. And you know me, I'd rather live stream it than have to do the editing of the vlogs. So the idea of live streaming it from the van, like streaming from Steve Van, then I thought, well, hold on a second. There is Starlink mobility. This does exist. It is in vehicles right now as a live, well, I don't see many people using it for live streaming, but the capability is there to have a constant internet connection via Elon Musk's Starlink satellites with good connectivity anywhere you are, even on the road, on the move. This is called Starlink mobility. Now, at this stage, it's very expensive, to the tune of about 3,800 Australian dollars for the hardware, for the dish. Hello, Peachy. Hello, all. Thank you, Peachy. Yeah, so it's about 3,800 for the dish that goes on top of the vehicle, and then you pay a monthly access fee, which is around about $280 per month. So it's definitely expensive internet, but for what it is, it's satellite connectivity, low Earth orbit satellites. So it's good connectivity, not this crap that they've had in this country for a while now. The NBN Skylink, I think it's called Skymuster. I think. Anyway, it's garbage. It doesn't use low Earth orbit satellites. It bumps it right out, so your ping is ridiculous. Your latency is off the charts, and the speeds are woeful. That's not what this is. This is at least 6 to 7 meg up and 40 meg down. Basically, you're looking at pretty standard fiber to the node internet connectivity. The difference being you take it with you and it connects to satellites above your head, and it connects and swaps around satellites to choose the best. Now, obviously, this would be the ideal solution, right? Get this installed on GoVan, live stream this from the get-go. My idea, and Marty doesn't know this yet, so by the way, hello Marty, if you're watching this, I want to start the stream literally at the Harbour Bridge in Sydney, and I want to end the stream, well, the stream will include Alice Springs and Uluru, the red centre, the big freaking rock. We're going to watch this video later on, but that's the rock I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's one of Australia's most iconic scenes, right? And so is the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House, the big white building with the strange sails, or supposed to look like sails. So I figure if we start there and then we drive for the next 7 weeks out to Uluru, engaging with whatever we come across on the way, live streaming it all, waterholes, kangaroos, wallabies, dingbats, wombats, all the wildlife, snakes. How many days to drive from Sydney? So you could drive from Sydney to Uluru in 3 days for sure. You could fang it in 2.5 days. That's not what I want to do. It's not what Marty wants to do. We're gonna do like maybe 300 k's a day. You know, like take it really nice and cruisy. We want to see shit, right? We want to pull in and spend maybe a day or two. We might find a water hole and we'll be like, let's just park up here. I've got the van. I just bought night before. No, it might have been last night. I bought a shower, like a hot water system and a shower that connects to the awning on the other side of GoVan. So I've already got the awning on the left-hand side or on the passenger side. On the other side, no, I haven't got it yet, but it's coming. A shower setup so you can clean yourself. And I know from touring with Tracer, two things that stuck out in my head about on the road for a long time. Change of clothes. If you can get to a washing machine and wash your clothes, you're halfway there. If you can shower yourself either on a daily basis or every second day, you can pretty much start again, right? You're starting again from clean clothes and clean body. It's clean mind. So, and I know from some of the tours we did where we didn't have that luxury, we got slothful very quickly and it really brought you all down. And so I've got a shower set up. That's all going to be taken care of. There's a few other small things I got to do, like fly screens and some cooling, because it's going to be pretty damn hot out there. I need some cooling in GoVan. I've got to organize the roof racks for the positions of things and some, like extra jerry can holders and stuff like that. But that's all taken care of, or almost taken care of. What I haven't done at all is to set up the live streaming gear. But because I've done this before in Stevan, I am aware of what I need to do, and I think I can do a better job this time. I'm pretty certain I'm going to use GoPros for the cabin cameras. Yeah, I don't think I'll use the GH5 I've got right here. It'll come with me, but that'll be for when we're moving around outside of outside of GoVan. Keep thinking of Stevan. Got solar panels? Yes, I do. I have already installed the solar panel. Only got one because I have limited space. I've got a Mitsubishi Delica. Chamonix is the model, the Chamonix. So the rooftop isn't, it's a small van, right? It's not a huge motorhome. It's just big enough to sleep in, basically. So there's not a lot of roof space I've got 160 watt fixed solar panel, and I've got a 220 watt foldable, movable plug-in solar panel that I can just bang into the Anderson connector whenever we pulled up. I have 2 internal batteries, 3. Sorry, I have the regular car battery, the regular vehicle battery, and I have 2 other batteries. One of those batteries is specific for the fridge freezer. I've got a Dometic is I think how they say it, Dometic fridge freezer, and that one battery is with a BCDC that charges from the alternator or from the solar panels. So the fixed solar panel will go into that feed to keep the fridge charged and to keep, backtrack. The fixed solar panel is connected to the fridge. That's because that's priority number 1, right? Priority number 1. The other battery that I've got, so the third battery, is specific for live streaming content. So that keeps all of my power banks charged and all of my other things charged. And that doesn't, at the moment, doesn't get a feed from the alternator, but it won't need to. Well, ultimately it will, but at the moment I haven't connected the BC. I don't know how to. I'm going to have to get James to help me, but the BCDC is going to need to go. I've got 2 BCDCs. I've got 2 batteries. They're going to both come from the alternator, and then the movable solar panel will be the one that we plug in via the Anderson connection when the live stream gear needs charging and we're parked up for the day or for 2 days or whatever in the sun. So that's what I've got. Sick. Yeah. I'm pretty stoked. It's been a long time coming, but I've been working and I guess I've been investing in the project, and I want to do this, and I want to do it as best as possible, and I want to create memories, and I want to take you yahoos with me. So that's the idea. So all told, Starlink mobility, you're looking at about $4,500. Think about the hardware 3.8, a bunch of months access. The beautiful thing about it is when you're not using it, you can turn it off and not pay for it. So once I'm here and not needing it, I can switch it off. So you're looking at about $4,500 will be clear for mobile internet connectivity to ensure the live streams happen. Obviously, I'll bring my LiveView Solo as well, and that'll hook into it. And I've got 4G, so I've got right here. I haven't put it back on yet because I painted it, but this is my old 4G antenna that was above. This was on my roof, which is what I used to stream with. This is my Mimo 4G antenna. I painted it black so that it blends in with my roof racks. That's going to mount to GoVan as well for reliable internet, right? If we're in a town and there's 4G, or we're in like the suburbs where there's 4G towers, this will connect to it. So that's cool as well. And I've got the LiveView Solo, obviously bonding the connections and whatnot. So that all that gear is already bought and taken care of, and I'm good with that. But I will be approaching a brand for the Starlink service. Now, added to that is obviously the cost involved in fuel. So GoVan takes around about $120 to the tank. The tank's a 50-litre tank, gets me around about 450, 480 kilometers. Now I can't do that. Hey Siri, what's 480 kilometers in miles?
480 kilometers is 298.26 miles. 300
miles. So you get about 300 miles to $120 Australian. Hey Siri, what's 120 Australian dollars in US dollars?
$120 is 77 US dollars and
77. So call it $80 US. $80 US gets me about 300 miles. Let's go to Google Maps's. Google Maps me. Google Maps, buddy. Google Maps's. How far is it from Sydney? Oh, we got to do destinations, right? Directions: Sydney, Alice, or Uluru. Uluru Road, Uluru Rock. So here is the total distance. It's a 20-hour drive, 2,841 kilometers. So with a simple math calculator. So first of all, that's a direct route from Sydney, direct to the Rock. But of course, we're probably going to be stopping and yahooing and whatnot. So I would say you could definitely add another 400 to that 2.8. You'd probably be looking at, let's first of all, let's just call that 3,000 Ks. But we're going to be going in and out of places and exploring. So let's, for safety, right? Actually, shit, I'm just thinking it's got to be a return trip. That's one way. So call it 3,000 kilometers to get us there. Minimum, right? To be safe, you want to chuck in an extra 200 kilometers. Let's call it 3,200. Let's call it 6,400 Ks round trip from Sydney to Uluru. So 6,400, let's call it that, 6,400 Ks divided by, what did we say, 400, about 450 Ks. So divide that by, so let's be safe. Let's just call it 450, right? It might be more, it might be slightly less. Let's just call it 450. How many times are we going to need to refill is what this is going to tell us. So that's telling us we're going to be refilling 14.2 times. Let's call it 15 times. So 15 times we're going to be filling the tank up. 15 times by, it's normally about 120, but that's in the suburbs. Out there in the outback, it's going to be jacked up, right? They're going to jack the price up. Let's call it 140 to be safe. So 15 times by $140 gives us a petrol costing of about $2,000. So we're looking at, all told, including the Starlink service, which is going to be around about $4,500, plus the fuel cost. So 2,100 plus 4,500 approx. We're looking at a total outlay of about 6,600 Australian dollars just for the meat and guts of this trip, the internet and the fuel. The rest, including food and, I'm going to take a whole bunch of homebrews, but food and entertainment is going to be additional. So rounding that up to $7,000. If clear that, make it 7,000. So the figure, 6,7? The figure I'm looking at here is 7,000 Australian dollars. So, hey, Dalesky, take me along. I'll be 69,000. Of course you are. So $7,000, that is the amount of dollars that I would be looking to a brand to supply me to have this done in conjunction with a brand. Now, I've got 3 different ideas of who I could pitch to for this to happen. I want to run them by you now, and I also want to ask you lot who else you think I could pitch to. The first idea is pitching directly to Elon Musk with Starlink. Obviously not Elon, but through his company. That's my first pitch. More than likely that won't happen, right? It's a good concept and no one else has done it. No one else has live streamed a drive from Sydney to Uluru. Maybe Elon might be into it. I don't know, but I don't have a huge amount of faith that he would even, or anybody on his team would even respond, but I will pitch to them. So that's one pitch. The other pitch is an interesting one. I was thinking about Woolworths. Woolworths is a supermarket in Australia. What have I done here? Paper tape? What the crack? I thought I was doing a new tab. Paper tape? Okay. Woolworths. This is a supermarket chain in Australia. This is their logo. They're pretty much everywhere, right? They're in every rural town. Every time you pull in, you can go to a Woolworths, and they've got a bottle shop, a liquor store attached to it, so it's all convenient. Could I pitch to Woolworths and say, look, if someone does this drive, they're going to need supplies. So Woolworths, would you like to come on board? We'll brand out GoVan with your logo and whatnot. We'll do all the stuff. You can do whatever you want to GoVan in terms of branding, but would they come on board? Do you think that's a suitable pitch, like to pitch to a supermarket chain? I don't think they've ever done anything like that. But then again, we're not asking for a huge amount of money. $7,000 is not a huge amount of money, right? It's not a lot. I could bump that to 10 grand and it still isn't a lot. But I think being real about it, like being honest about it and being as, straight down the line in terms of the costing, it might help, or they might say, what, 7 grand? We're not going to bother with that shit. That's lousy. Dale, maybe the government tourism office. Hey, dude, what a rad idea. Let me get a screenshot of that. JD, Coca-Cola, some outdoor clothing brands. Okay, I'm going to get screenshots of that. I can think of many possibilities. Okay, cool. I took a screenshot of that. Cool. Maybe break it into smaller pieces with several companies. Well, all right, but okay. Let me just get to my third pitch. The third pitch would be to the H3 podcast. I don't know if anybody here watches Ethan Klein, the H3 podcast. Here's my thinking. Here's how I came to this. I'm a fan of the show, right? I watch the show. I have done for years. It's an American show, right? In California. They often talk about Australia. They often have people from Australia call in. They often laugh at all the weirdness that this country has, the kangaroos, all the wallaby, all that garbage, the surfing, all that stuff. They talk about it, right? They haven't had anybody live stream or on call correspondent, let's say. So if they came to the party and coughed up the 7K, hey Siri, what's 7,000 Australian dollars in US dollars?
$7,000 is 4,505 US dollars.
It's only $4,500 in American, right? Make it 5,000 American dollars. That's not much, right? But if they did come on board, then what I was thinking they could do, they could contact me anytime they could be watching my stream in a little feed, because they broadcast every 2 or 3 days. They do a 4-hour stream. The producer Dan could have my stream up in a little window, and he could be looking at it while he's doing the show and be like, "Hey, Benon's in he's at a watering hole with crocodiles right now." Actually, how would that work because of time zones? He's watching the star. I don't know how it would work in terms of time zones, but he could say, hey, by the way, just cutting into the show, get Benon on the line right now. Check this out. And then they punch into me, and I'm live the whole time, right? So they're like, "Hey, give us a minute. You're on the show." I'm like, "Oh, check this out. Look what we came across. My friend Luke Campbell, who's wrestling kangaroos and crocodiles, and come with me." And we take the live stream out and we go out and hang out, and they get a little feed whenever they damn well want. They can just hook into me. Peachy, what a terrific idea. A live correspondent will be fantastic and a win-win for both parties. And what that would do, they would have they've already kind of got it with a few different sort of. So I'm thinking of one guy that they've got, and this goes back a few years, or a year now. They have a live guy. There's a guy called White Claw Gabe, right? He's on their show, and what his shtick is, he drinks White Claw, the alcoholic seltzer, and he loves Friday, and he likes fried chicken, and he's got a TikTok. Go and search him up. Go and search up White Claw Gabe. He's a bit of a potty mouth, but he comes in, he's like, "It's Friday, baby. Fuck, baby. It's Friday. I deserve fried chicken." And he goes off with this, "It's Friday, baby. Yeah, fuck, baby. Fuck. It's Friday." And they cut to him, and he comes in with that on a weekly basis. And then they have a chat. "Oh, what are you up to?" "Oh, I'm going to go to a restaurant. I'm going to have dinner. It's Friday, baby. It's the weekend. No work, no school. Fuck, baby." And he does, and this is his thing. And they cut to him. So I'm not saying that that's what my thing would be, but I feel like my thing would be, here is Australia. Here is a never seen real, like, not that it's never been seen, but like a live feed from two dudes driving through the country. I mean, the shit we get up to, the talk we talk, the waffle we waffle, the booze we drink. It's going to be fun, right? It's going to be fun. So those are my 3 ideas. Elon Musk, Woolworth Supermarkets, and H3 Podcast. Dale, how are your contract negotiation skills? Not too bad. I feel like I'm pretty well versed. I've just, I guess, from working in photography for years, I've had a lot of experience with that. My plan, and this is where I want to involve you guys. My plan is to put together a video, a short video piece, much like I am now, like a little live snappity snap, not waffle, just a snappity snap. And I want to showcase some of my live feeds, right? Some pieces of live streams, IRL, of course, not sitting here, but IRL streams, of what I've done. So with that in mind, what would you think would be some streams that have to go in the pitch. I can already think of one. I can think of two. The first one is when I was in Stevan and there was a lightning storm above me, and that version of Stevan had the crystal light roof, and I was sitting or laying in bed. It was winter, or it was cold, and I was drinking Jack in bed, and behind me there was lightning above me in the sky, and we could see it. I want to put a little snippet of that. And by the way, I've got all of my streams, the raw material. The other ones, obviously, some of my content from New Zealand, right? Maybe the 12-hour work day I did driving a shuttle bus. So just little pockets of content. Maybe I probably should be writing this down, but I can remember them. But when I went up to Kangaroo Valley, Fitzroy Falls Reservoir, up there on the lookout with the water and the sun going down, and maybe up at Jerringala Lookout with the views and everything, just hanging out with homebrews. So just it's got to be a little slice of what I do, what I've already done, and therefore what could come from this experience. Obviously, I've got to throw a little of Marty in there. This is Marty, my friend. He's going to be with me. Yeah. Yes, this is a good idea, Ben, on the snippets. Highlights. Yeah, highlights, I guess, is what I'm saying. So, Dale, do you have any thoughts about which particular streams would go into that pitch? And the other thing, too, so when you pitch an idea, you've got to sell the value. So what's the sponsor? What's the sponsor going to get out of it? So in the case of H3H3, they're going to receive a live feed to me whenever they want, to patch into me, to add me to their show, to continue, the Australian content, keep that flowing, right? I'm happy, like I said, to brand out GoVan with decals and logos and whatever they want. So that would be a New Zealand one's for sure. Present a variety, yeah. But we don't want to take it too long, right? We want to make a pitch video. I don't think should be longer than 2 minutes. That's absolute maximum, 2 minutes. I come on, I say, hey, my name's Benon. I've got a channel called Gives a Minute. Okay, this is good practice, but my name's Benon. Oh, g'day, my name's Benon. I'm a live streamer from Australia. I want to live stream driving from the Sydney Harbour Bridge to Alice Springs, Uluru, the Ayers Rock in the centre of Australia, and I need you guys to come on board as a sponsor to pay for the internet. Here's what I'm thinking is going to work in your favour. Here's how it's going to work in my favour. Here's a few clips of me doing this already. We're planning on doing this in August in 2024. Can we get together on a call and have a chat about this? Here's the snippets. So I don't want to take up any more time than I need, but just straight to the guts of why I'm contacting them. Be presentable. Mention you live stream across several platforms. Of course, yeah. And I'll provide the stats and the details when that gets. So the first pitch is like throwing the fish hook into the sinker. What? Throwing the line into the water and seeing if anything bites, right? And then if there's a bite, we then get into okay, now can I take a little more of your time to just explain what this is going to entail and how this could benefit you guys and me. There was another thing I was going to say. Oh, okay. So live streaming on multiple platforms is a good thing. However, I would be exclusive if, now this could be a fourth pitch, if the platform was willing to pay me for the content. So here we are on a platform, it's called kick.com. But if you look at my restream, I'm restreaming everywhere, right? I'm on DLive, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch, I'm on Trovo, I'm on Africa TV, I'm on Vaughan Live. I'm on Instagram, not Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm on, not LinkedIn, Twitter, X, right? I'd be happy to turn those off for exclusivity, but the exclusivity would be we'll pay for this. We'll give you the $8,000. What did we say? 7,000. We'll give you the 7,500 Australian if you do the content only on our platform. Happy to do that, with one caveat. It has to be able to go to YouTube as well. I know that sounds contradictory, but think about it. Every live streaming platform deletes their VODs after X amount of time. So if I do this, it needs to be able to be searchable later on. So it needs to go to YouTube as well, right? It can't. I mean, I'd be happy to do them and make those streams unlisted on YouTube and then list them later on so that the primary focus is the platform. But I can't drive to Uluru and live stream everything just for 45 days later they delete the VODs. I can't do that. I need to have them permanently searchable. So I could pitch to kick.com. It could also be and this might come across whatever, because I'm a nobody here. How many we got? 8 viewers. I'm a nobody on this platform, right? Nobody. But I could also pitch, in addition to exclusive content, if you guys put me into the creator program, so then I was earning an hourly rate while I was streaming, well, then everybody benefits, because I'm going to be streaming like 12 hours a day for 6 weeks, right? So there's hourly rate of income coming in. And then we could maybe renegotiate a smaller fee up front. Instead of the $7,000, it could be $4,000. And we enroll you in the creator program. So now you're earning X amount of dollars every hour you stream, and we're getting the content exclusive to Kick. I'm just saying that there's ways and there's ideas that are spewing forth here. Like, it's all coming out. Like, the ideas are coming. Someone said yesterday you should hook up. What's the guy's name? I'm gonna say Fuzi, not FuziTube. Papa Zadook, right? I should hit him up. Now, Papa Zadook was a D-Live. He might have been a Guardian for a while, I don't think he was a staff member. I think he was a Guardian. But he did contact me when Kick started. He came to my. How did it happen? I reckon he came into my D-Live. No. He came into my Kick streams originally and, said who he was. And he got me verified, very quick. Very early in Kick, I was the green tick, right? So therefore, the subscriptions opened up to me. So I can earn the money from the subs on Kick. Thank you to Papa Zadook. Is it pushing a boundary to approach him with this idea, this pitch idea, to not only have... And by the way, okay, so we know that Stake.com, who owns Kick, they're throwing out money willy-nilly, right? But they're also bringing in money. Like, my live streams are not going to bring in the money that Aiden Ross flicking a slot machine is going to bring in, right? So that these gambling streams that Stake.com, I heard absurd amounts of money that they're paying, like $45,000 an hour to live stream gambling. Something like, what's his name? XQC? Something absolutely absurd. The amount of money paid hourly to stream gambling. So if you look at the very, very, very bottom level of that, which is what I would be, I'm not looking for anything ridiculous. $7,000 is what we've worked out would cover us for petrol and for the Starlink. Now you could say, but what about other things? Well, I don't mind paying some of it, right? I'm got to be self-sufficient as well. I've got a year to save cash in my job to be able to buy lunches and dinners. So I'm good, but I need help. So if I asked Kick or Stake, I guess, if I asked Stake.com for a small amount of money, $7,000, they'd be like, dude, this is such a small amount of money. We've got, look at these brand deals we're giving these streamers. This guy's only going to ask for $7,000. Sign him up. Do it. It's IRL content. But we want exclusivity. We want it on our platform. Okay, cool. I've explained the YouTube part, but I get it, right? We'll do it, and then we'll enroll you in the creator program. You'll be in that phase of the second phase, or maybe by then it could be open to everybody, right? It's on a rolling basis of this creator program. So what I'm seeing. Be sure to scroll up. Okay, I'll scroll back up and see. Yeah, sure. I won't neglect the chat. But what I'm seeing, or what I'm trying to do here, is present an idea of content that doesn't exist yet. So no one's done. I searched already. If someone can find an IRL stream from Sydney to Uluru, please be my guest. Link me up. I haven't found one. And so that would be a first, right? I'm also trying to showcase Australia, which doesn't quite get, aside from Ice Poseidon being here right now and doing ridiculous things like jumping on the mall's balls in Adelaide. What a fucking tool. Anyway, Australia doesn't really get a look in, right? We can showcase awesome content, beautiful sunsets, big blue lakes with freaking kangaroos, and we'll be sitting out there drinking whiskey and telling stories and hanging out. It's the wide open land, the beautiful outback with kangaroos and crickets and wallabies and all that cool shit. It needs to be out there, right? People need to see it. And the live content, people can be there in the chat, they can engage, they can hang out, they can tell us where to go. You dudes could be directing us. You could be like, did you know you're in a town called Angadanga? Oh, really? What's there? Nothing, but about 20 k's north, and then inland slightly from there, there's a massive waterhole. Check it out on Google. And I'll be like, shit, what? And we got connectivity. We got Starlink. We can go there and set up for 2 or 3 days, swim, catch wallabies, catch platypuses, hang out, and all of it is live. All of it's live, except for sleeping. I'm not going to do a sleep stream. So you see, my enthusiasm is twofold, because I'm enthusiastic about live content. Of course, you know that. If you've been here with me from the get-go, from D-Live, you know that. I'm extremely enthusiastic about the concept of live. But live from a vehicle where things change rapidly and always, and it's fresh content because of where you are. It's such a cool idea. I'm not trying to smoke myself, but it's a cool idea. Now let me just go back up. El Tanaka City! How you doing, man? Good to see you, buddy. I'm gonna get a beer soon, but good to see you, man. Let's go back up and read the chat because I don't want to miss anything. Mention you live stream across several platforms. You got this. All cool ideas. Exclusive to Say Kick. Yep. That may just pay off. D-Live should do it, but we know they won't. Yeah, look, I'm not even going to approach D-Live. And by the way, I wouldn't even know how to do that. I'm not touching it, right? In fact, if one of the requirements was to turn off D-Live in my restream, I'd be happy to do that. Dale, I also recommend a theme, a strong, compelling reason for the journey. Now, I'm glad you mentioned that, a story, so to speak. That's a necessity. Let me just get a screenshot of that because I'm glad you mentioned it. I did want to talk about that because there is somewhat of a theme here. 2 single middle-aged dudes on the road. I'm just saying, right? Anything can happen out there. Out there, there's wild women everywhere, folks. I'm just saying, right? I'm not saying that's why we're doing it. Hell no. But we are both single. Marty's single. Yeah, he's single. I think he's single. He's more or less single. But I'm just saying, like, we are very, well, I know I am very open to talking with people, meeting people, and by the way, as long as there's no stupid business, like none of, like, you know, like no hidden cameras in rooms kind of crap. But hey, man, we're out here live streaming. What are you girls up to? Oh, cool. Where are you from? Canada. Oh, cool. I've been to Canada. Come over, hang. You want to be on the live stream? Yeah, no, we're live right now. You're live? How are you getting internet? Ah, Starlink. Come on over, hang out. And then the next thing you know, the girls are like, oh, we bought kayaks. We're gonna go and kayak this river for 3 days. Let's go. Right, we'll join you. Off we go, kayaking. So the story, or the theme, I guess, if you're looking for a theme, the theme is 2 extremely handsome Australian men, big blowfly, fanging around Australia. By the way, I've got a big lizard under my bed right now. Yeah, we got these things called skinks here in Australia. Thank you for the trumpet. Yeah, we got these things called skinks in Australia, and when I was going out for a surf this morning or earlier today, when the swell's pumping, still pumping, I opened my door and a lizard just came straight in, and I was like, "What are you doing?" It was too hot outside. He came in. He's under my bed. Anyway, the big flyer tricked me up. Back up in the chat, it's more compelling than Tooth Boy. And then Tanaka came in. Also include the Steve Van Govan in the story during the live streams. Include the Steve Van Govan. Oh, you mean the progression from one van to the next? Right, yeah. I mean, that's not probably going to be in my pitch, but I can mention that I've already had a van. So this is my second one. Is that what you mean? Like I've already done this? So even though I haven't set the live content up in Govan yet, I know how to do it, and we just haven't done it yet, but I have done it in a different van. Is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean. How are you feeling? I'm feeling great. Living the dream, yes sir. Now I really want to come along. Aussie Sheilas in bikinis. Well, yeah, it might not be. Oh no, there'll be bikinis because we're in the watering holes. I'm in. Yeah. So a theme. So with all this in mind and this out there now, are there any like extreme?
I want to mow the lawn and go fishing.
Me too. The lawn needs mowing. Fishing can wait, but I want to mow the lawn and go fishing. Are there any bleedingly obvious things that you think I've missed here? Like, have I pitched it to you, the viewers, adequately? Or is there things that are obvious that I haven't seen that I need to tick off? Because I'll make a checklist and I'll add whatever it is. Yeah. Hit me. I'm all ears. In this early phase, it's October, right? We're not going to be doing this till August next year at the earliest. So I'm all ears. I'm trying to embrace everything, trying to work out what, like absorb everything and then sort of spew out an idea or a legitimate concept. What possibly? I like the story so far. I'll ponder for a bit. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's good. That's good. Thank you, Daleski. By the way, I do see viewers on other platforms. I see 2 viewers on DLive. DLive, come on over to kick.com. DLive, come over to Kick. If you're watching outside, I see FC2 as well. I see 4 viewers on YouTube. Come on over to kick.com if you've got commentary to make. Like if you've got suggestions for this, come on over to kick.com. That's where we're chatting. So I guess there is one other thing that needs to be sort of considered. Dale, I strongly suggest a strong, compelling reason for the journey. Okay, so maybe the idea of just 2 men going isn't enough. So you're thinking it needs to be a stronger story. Okay. Well, the classic tale of a lost soul trying to find themselves in this life. We're gonna use the vastness of the outback to examine our souls. We're gonna be deep searching on a mission of exploration to find out just who we are in this crazy world. How do we fit into the zeitgeist of monolithic decisions that need to be made? How does life come at you and then veer to the side? One moment you think you're getting married with children, and the next moment you're off live streaming all over the freaking country. Is that what you mean? People still use DLive? Yeah. So yeah, okay. The other thing I was going to say before I went off on a silly tangent is that this August sort of window of opportunity to do this, it does revolve around Marty and his job. But I believe Marty has said he may quit his job. So you're on the right track, Gibbs. Well, let me tell you about Luke Campbell. This could be a compelling story. So this gentleman, Luke Camels, is a friend of mine from way back when. There he is on a camel. There he is, looks like in Esperance. He's got a Facebook page. I didn't know about that page. I've got his personal, but he has... from Taupe, the Andy T channel. Luke Campbell has been... Let me just preface this. So when we grew up, when we were kids, right? When we were kicking around Janali, Oyster Bay, Como, Luke Campbell was, I believe he was 1 year away from finishing his bricklayer's apprenticeship, and he just said, "I'm going. I'm done. I'm not staying. I'm not doing this." And he walked. He walked to Byron Bay, I believe, and then hitched. No. He bought a shitbox, tried to drive to Byron Bay. The shitbox blew up. He walked the rest of the way. Then he wound up heading to Alice Springs. This is like east coast of the country to the center of the country. He wound up from there, many years later, he wound up going from Alice Springs up to the top of the west coast, Broome, and he's made a life up there. It sounds crazy, but he made a life wrangling camels. So he would go into the center, get wild camels, break them in, and bring them back to Broome, where he was working for a company called Red Sun Camels, and they have it's pretty famous. If you go Broome Camel Safaris, I spelled that wrong, but sunset camel rides on Cable Beach. So these camels, this is pretty famous, this Cable Beach here. Look at these images. So these camels, some of them, I guess, Luke Campbell actually wrangled and broke them in. And he did that a bunch of times. He'd go out into the center of the country and he'd live on the land like an Aboriginal, like a wild man. I'm just trying to think. He's actually part Aboriginal. He is part Aboriginal. I was going to say that's cultural misappropriation, but no, he's part Aboriginal. See, that's a compelling story. Gone walkabout. Yeah. I mean, okay. So could we tie that in somehow? Could I include my pitch is to hook up with Campbell and really find out what it's like to be in this continent? Like when you think about Australia, normally it's the coast, right? Normally it's like coastal towns, coastal living. If you happen to live in Perth, you're the most isolated city on the planet. So there's that. People love Australia for this vastness. Well, this guy spent most of his life in that vastness, and I think that will be pretty damn compelling content. Every day is hump day. Be sure to get his permission. Well, I spoke with him yesterday about this trip, but I haven't really mentioned. For me, I don't like mentioning stuff until it's kind of locked in. But I know because we made content together, dude. This is the biggest mistake I made one time. Okay, let me tell you this story. So Luke and I made this video. It was pretty wild, right? He was pretty. When we were younger, he was quite wild and jumping off trees and like cat rolls and commando, all this weird shit, just tackling hedges. And so we went out to a bunch of places. One of the places was Boat Harbour 4-wheel drive trail out at Kurnell. Let me tell you about Kurnell as well in a moment. But anyway, yeah, we shot this content, right? I shot all this footage of him being wild, like a wild Campbell in the wild. It was called Ra Smack. The running is the Ra and the smack is the impact. That's the title of the little film. And I edited it on my first ever PC with Adobe Premiere, right? And I dumped it down. Dude, I've got the tape. X Games, whatever tape has the X Games on it. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, it's not this. It is. No, that's not it. That's the jam. Anyway, these tapes right here. So I edited this piece together and I dumped it out. So I had the Firewire connectivity. I dumped it from my computer as the edit onto a tape. I deleted all the source material and the project material, and all I had was the tape. That tape I put in this very camera bag. This is not the camera I used. I don't know where my mini DV down here. This is actually the camera I did it all on. TRV 900, 3CCD. Had a wide angle lens. It's all broken now. I shot everything. I dumped it all back onto the camera. I put that tape in this bag. And then, this is the biggest fuck up I've ever done. I went to the X Games where I was eliminated pretty quick. I skateboarded in the X game, Planet X, not X Games, Planet Next, Planet. What was it called? X Games? Planet X. Yeah, I got eliminated very quickly, and so then I was filming. So I was filming all my mates skateboarding in the vert comp after I was gone. Right, I got this footage of me. I got someone else to film me, but there's footage of me. Then I was like, okay, I'm eliminated, right, as I thought I would be. I'm going to film everything. Oh, the tape's empty. Oh, here's the tape. I recorded over the only version of the edit that I had. The only thing I had of it was on that tape, and I went, oh, fuck, my tape's empty. Oh, there's a tape. Put it in. Yeah, Renton, you're going off. Sick. Fucking Trent. Trevor Ward, yep, shit. And then I was like, and it was only a 2-minute film. I'd already gone past it. I was like, I remember I had to tell Campbell. And by the way, we could have this story. We could have this story when we hang out with him. Yeah, I had to tell him. I was like, dude, you're not gonna believe what happened. And he's like, he's pretty chill. He's like, what did you do, man? What did you do? And I was like, the worst thing you could do. All of that footage, including, I don't even think he saw the final edits. All of it's gone. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, dude, I erased it. I taped over it. I taped over it. Big oof, as the kids would say. So there's funny stories with Luke Campbell, for sure. In fact, he's in my From the Vault Friday, currently on my YouTube channel. If you want to see him, he's there. I want to see the guy. Net TV, how you doing? Good to see you. Good evening. What's the reason a company would sponsor you? Like, say, Woolies provides the food, Starlink's the Wi-Fi. Why would they want it? So obviously with Woolworths, and thank you for swinging in with that, but obviously with Woolworths, it would be the simple fact that we are demonstrating that every time you pull into a town, there's the big Woolworths logo. We're going to Woolies. Here comes, and we go in there and we're like, hey, this is Woolies Yakataka. I don't know the names of the towns, right? Here we are in Woolies in Akataka. Hey, how you doing? Cool. Look what's on special. Barbecue chickens for $9. Are you kidding me? Marty, get 2 of those. Every time we go to Woolworths. Starlink is an obvious one. It's like, well, dude, we're sitting next to a watering hole in the freaking outback, and look at this connectivity. Look at this beautiful 1080-60 stream, only because of Starlink. I think what Dale said, you need a really good reason. That is, yeah, that's cool. So I feel like Luke Campbell, and I guess I was going to talk more about him, but the other thing that he did, which is pretty sick. So Broome is on the west coast. Alice Springs, Uluru is in the center of Australia. He would often do this jaunt between the two and wrangle these camels. One time he wrangled a set of camels, and after he wrangled them, he then walked them to Alice Springs, where he trained one of them to be tame for human usage, and he rode that camel. He literally rode the camel into Alice Springs, and then he rode it in the Camel Cup, which is a big once-a-year camel race, and he came 6th or 7th or something on a wild camel. Nobody else had wild. He just did a wild man, right? And that's just a couple of stories from this guy. Like he would have hundreds more stories, hundreds more. A company needs to believe that they will earn more than they spend. That's a good point, right? Just being the first isn't compelling enough. Truckers travel across Aussie every day, but they don't live stream it. Cost-benefit analysis. There you go. Truckers don't share content in real time. I think Starlink would love it because it shows their connection off to the world. For sure. For sure. I think the Starlink one is a no-brainer. This is a great advert for Aussie tourism. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We did a snap on that, I think. Ben on his missing chat comments as usual, right? Your photography, music, history could be incorporated somehow. Ooh. Interesting. How could I bring that into it? I don't know how I'd be able to bring in my music photography. I mean, aside from shooting a local band out in the outback, I don't have any great ideas for that. Hey, by the way, just another side tangent with Luke Campbell. So one time, I think it was in about 2005, 2006, he was back in the Shire and I was back in Sydney for a while too. And we were hanging out and he was telling me about a business idea he had. He's like, man, I've spent all this time up here on Broome on Cable Beach doing these sunset camel safaris. And I said, I want to bring this to the East Coast. So Sydney and Cronulla Beach, quite famous, right? The Shire, like the southern part of Sydney. He's like, why can't we do camel walks across Cronulla Beach? We could start up at Kurnell and we could walk down to, there's a restaurant called the Cronulla restaurant. I don't know. It's right on the beach there. I can't remember the name of it. But he said we could do camel trips down the beach. You're not going to get a sunset because it's on the East Coast, but you could do lunchtime to mid-afternoon sort of things. Then we could have dinner and then walk back up the beach. And he even had the brand name. He pitched it to the Sutherland Council and they knocked him back because his idea was going to be called Far Kurnell Camels. So the town or the suburb is Kurnell. Maps, I'll just bring this up without doing it on screen. That brings up my location. I'll show you where it is. Kurnell, this is the suburb. Can I make this larger? Kurnell. So this is Cronulla. This is the beach that I was just talking about. Oops. This is the beach. This is the southern end of the beach. The northern end of the beach is up here in a town called Kurnell. There's the name of Kurnell with a K, K-U-R-N-E-L, Kurnell. And he wanted to call it Far Kurnell Camels. Say it faster. Far Kurnell Camels. Far Kurnell Camels. And they declined him. He literally pitched this idea to the Far Kurnell Camels. So we could have all these conversations with him. We could talk about it. We could find out the other stories that he's got. I mean, we didn't even really look into this, but look. Let's take a look at Andy Tope's channel. A brief biography of a bushman. This is from 2014. There he is. This is Luke Campbell catching a stingray, aka Captain Loose, spearing his tea north of Broome. Photo D. Kramer. Do you want me to read this to you? 3 knives descend swiftly into the water in the far north. Slaughter under the event tide. Darkness sets in. A lone hunter, betraying a palpable hardness beneath the shadows, takes in his prize. At times, driven to the edge of madness, the boy from the city is all but gone. Luke Campbell, a friend who I've grown up with, lives in Gormanston, Tasmania, a small, quiet place that's threads away from becoming another of the state's ghost towns. Now, that was before. He doesn't live there anymore. We did go down there. There's... Did I shoot vlogs down there? I didn't. Luke prefers to live on the fringes of civilization, and I'm following him there right now to give you a better idea of this bloke who's unlike anyone I've met. Here's a few of his misadventures. There he is on top of a camel. He hitchhiked around Australia nearly a dozen times, often without shoes or money. He swapped his car for a fishing rod, shooting a kangaroo while working as a roo shooter, only to rescue the joey and hitchhike up the west coast of Australia with it in his backpack. Making off with a barramundi under his coat from the Radisson Hotel in Scarborough after catching it from the hotel's pond with a hand line baited with chicken and cheese. Pretending to be a butcher before being chased out of the shop with a cleaver. There he is. Yes, Luke is crazy. I've never met anyone crazier, but over the years, he's managed to focus his boundless energy to accomplish amazing things. He's walked from Alice Springs to Broome on foot across the Tanami Desert, armed with a couple of camels, a friend and a compass. Luke made this epic trip in around 3 months. He's done it a few times. This journey, which should have garnered much attention, occurred almost unnoticed. Luke is a terrible marketer, but then again, his trip was never about that. So, you can keep reading that, or you could read it yourself, but in the chat, what's a good reason to be going to the Rock? So the reason I'm going to the Rock is because as an Australian, it's critical. It's the center of this country. So there's like a drawing, like there's some force that's drawing everybody there. It's this big fucking rock that juts out of the ground. It's massive, right? It's the center. It's almost like someone, it's like, what are those toys that have like a little handle on them, like, and you lifted them up as kids and moved them around? It's almost like the rock is the handle to lift up the continent of Australia and move it around a game, like a game board. There is it's almost like not a rite of passage, but it's almost like you must go there and see it. And I haven't, and I'm 48. Yeah, I was going to say, am I 47? I'm 48, and I haven't been. I want to see. I want to mow the fishing and go to the lawn. I want to go to Ayers Rock before I die, essentially. I must say, this makes an interesting stream rather than talking about religion or politics. Who's doing that? Who's doing that now? That shit gets old and boring. I'm kind of over the bullshit. Life is too short, too precious to wallow in that crap.
I want to mow the lawn and go fishing.
Me too. What's the vote that's going on in Australia? Rudy Abbo gives the yes or no vote. You could be the no way to a rebel on the run to show off the real Aussie what's up. I mean, that needs to be addressed as well. There is a referendum which is coming up, 2 weeks from now, I think. Australia has to choose to vote yes or no to give Aboriginals a voice to the country, or a voice to Parliament. My apologies, a voice to Parliament. It's a very decisive referendum. A lot has to be said about it, and there's a lot of sketchiness involved with it. So I'm not a political streamer. I don't feel like that should come into my content at all, even though we're obviously going to be meeting Aboriginals. I mean, Luke knows probably half of them, right? He knows them all. He virtually is an Aboriginal these days. So I don't know if, I don't think that I'm going to angle anything political, because that would be fake for me, right? That'd be me just chasing. I mean, it is coincidental and it is topical that by the time I get this trip underway, the vote will have either been a yes or a no vote. And I guess we could explore what it's done, like a year down the track, right? What's the
peace and love, peace and love.
With peace and love, what has the referendum done to the country? Here we are in the outback, mingling with crew, existing. So yeah, I'd rather not dip into that, just because I know that that's not who I am. That's not my content. That's never been my content. But I understand that it does have a bit of play, for sure. Stay away from that. Be more creative. Yeah, look. We will obviously see a bunch of crew, bunch of Aboriginals. We'll engage them. We'll hang out with them. We'll learn from them. We'll enjoy their company. And I think that's all that there needs to be said about it, right? Like, I'm not a political streamer. I mean, we have looked into. Look, before, on DLive, I'd investigate anything if you wanted me to, and I'm happy to investigate it and whatever. But yeah, just the thought of interest gives open forum for ideas in what. I appreciate that, Netsky. I appreciate that, and look, that's why I'm doing this stream. Like, I want to get from this what. First of all, I want to get your approval. I want to get everybody here's approval, because that tells me that the content will work, right? If you dudes are into the idea, maybe there'll be other crew that are into the idea once we start rolling, right? And I want to find out what I'm missing. What are the key things that have to be addressed, or that need to be, added to the pitch and to my concept. Maybe Mitsubishi will sponsor you taking one of their vehicles. It's a good idea. I'll get a screenshot of that. Okay. There is something to be said about that, because the Mitsubishi Delica was never a domestically released vehicle in this country. it was always a import. So they might not. I mean, it's worth pitching, right? It's worth pitching. I've got a screenshot, so I will do it. But I feel like I'll do my top 3 plus kick. Because we've got time up our sleeve, I'll do my top 3 plus the kick one, and we'll sit on that for a while. Like, we'll see how that goes, essentially. The add-on parts companies for road trips. So there's yes, there's plenty of four-wheel drive. Where there's the four-wheel drive super center. There is what's it called? Different opposite lock. Yeah, the van is going to be covered in logos. Look, I'm happy to do whatever it takes. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of talking. I wouldn't mind having a beer and just watching. I've got a bunch of content here that we can check out. Some the places we're going to be going to. Funnily enough, from these guys, One Pack Wanderers, Uluru. I mean, I want to check it out. You want to check out some content? Kick back with the brewski. Might have a jack as well. Got tabs up the wazoo. Wrap skin stickers are easy as. Wrap skin stickers. Yeah, okay. Wrap. I mean, obviously in my pitch, I would say, look, clearly, whatever you want to... I guess I'm going to get a beer. Whatever you want to do to GoVan in terms of branding is completely fine with me. Whatever you want to do, but go to town. Yeah, and it's not even painting, is it? It's just the vinyl wrapping. Vinyl. I love a good vinyl wrap. All right, I'm going to go and get a brewski, take a slash, come back, and we'll take a look at some content. Does that sound like a plan, skis? We'll get ourselves psyched and stoked, and we'll get keen for Aussie, the Red Desert. Yeah. All right, yeah, I'll be back. I wonder if Starlink actually will work all the way out to the rock. I mean, that's a good part to start, a good place to start. Hey, Netskis, let me just bring this up. One second. I know we're not on the right page here, but I'll just crack this beer and then we'll have a look at Starlink. Cheers as eases. Homebrew. It's as good as new. Oh, I poured that badly, didn't I? Shit. I'm going to have to let that sit for a bit. Starlink. Let's go and have a look. What's this? Get out of there. Starlink view availability map. Australia. Available now. Can we zoom in? Services mobility. Here it is, folks. High-speed global internet up to 220 megabits down for critical in-motion applications starting at $400 a month. Okay, I thought that was 280. Dang, dude. Starting at $400 a month. Okay, we might have to reevaluate our pitch. 400. What does it mean starting at? With a one-time hardware fee of $3,740. Try for 30 days with a guaranteed full refund on hardware. Oh wow, deja vu. Dale, what are Marty's ideas on all this? I'll hit that in a second, but I just had deja vu with that. That's bizarre. Order now. Starlink Mobility works with Starlink's flat high performance.
I'm not like some madman.
I'm not.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
With a wide field of view and enhanced GPS capabilities, the flat high performance can connect to more satellites, allowing for a more consistent connectivity on the go. The hardware is designed for permanent installation on your vehicle and is resilient in harsh environments, ideal for mobile businesses and public sector use cases, including trucking, buses, shuttles, and emergency response. Currently available for order and use in select markets, and we know Australia is part of that market. Starlink mobility plans have the highest priority in the network, meaning your connectivity is prioritized even in times of congestion. High priority connectivity is particularly critical for emergency responders. There we go. That's what it looks like. Your Starlink kit comes with all the necessary hardware, permanent installation. Get online within minutes. Setup guide there. 100% coverage. Starlink Mobility provides 100% coverage in your country and every country where Starlink services is available across the globe. 100% coverage. Plans can also be used on the ocean, with connectivity available in the vast majority of the Earth's oceans and seas. Rugged enough to withstand rocket landings. Well, we won't be doing any of that. In addition to withstanding extreme cold, heat, hail, sleet, heavy rain, and gale force winds, Starlink also holds up against rocket engines. Starlink is currently being used to get high-quality video of SpaceX rocket launches landing at sea, providing continuous coverage in the face of engines capable of generating a lot of pounds of force. There it is. Pay as you go. Starlink Mobility provides the ability to pause and unpause the service at any time, and is billed in 1 month increments. That's handy. Secure fleet management remote monitoring. Whether operating 10 vehicles or 10,000 vehicles, Starlink Mobility enables remote monitoring, and we won't be needing any of that. Very, very cool. SpaceX launches new satellites weekly. Yeah, fully. They're all the time, aren't they? Say to Elon, let me prove your claims of connectivity. I mean, yeah. I guess I'm the first one to do that, right? Let's continue to get excited though by taking a look at One Pack Wanderers as they explore the red heart of Australia.
We're in Alice Springs. We're actually not in Alice Springs. We're like in a park just outside of Alice Springs. It's like a 10-minute drive.
Found out last night that we drove straight into winter. It was 37 degrees
Fahrenheit. I think that we're way too far away from the camera. No one can.
Oh, oops.
We're gonna. Okay. The reason why that's relevant, that it's cold down.
Dude, that quality is shithouse. That's in HD though. Why is that so garbage? I'll put it on 1440.
Down here, as we've headed south, is that we're going to camp at Uluru tomorrow night.
It's going to, I think the forecast is 32 or 34 degrees.
A dingo stole my Starlink. Nice. I think I hear a dingo taking your Starlink satellite connectivity. By the way, doesn't this look rad? But how much radder would it be when it's live? It's good to watch a vlog, edited content, but live is where it's at, man.
But it was the only way, or like the cheapest way for us to be near it. Everything else was like
yeah, the
hundreds
hotels
of
are like
dollars.
$500 a night AUD. Anyways, to wrap that up, we spent yesterday just sort of preparing for that. But we've got one more day in Alice Springs. We came out to this park actually so that maybe we could put up the drone to like show you guys what the city actually looks like.
Drones are illegal in Uluru, dude. Be careful with that. There was a porn star here in the late 80s, early 90s named Alice Springs. True story. Wow. Live is the way to go. Yeah, and Net TV, the reason live is better in my mind is that there's no like you can't fake it, right? Like this is like cleaned up and like polished and presented, whereas live is like this is actually what's happening and it's happening right now. I love IRL live is awesome. By the way, I beg your pardon. I believe drones are illegal at the Rock at Uluru, but they might not be illegal around Alice Springs. I can fly my drone and RTMP the feed into the live stream, which would be pretty cool. Buddy told me about her recently, so I googled it. Okay.
Before we came to Australia, I'm a little embarrassed to admit that I thought Alice Springs was at the base of Uluru.
Everybody thinks that. It's not. It's about another 3 hours drive or something.
I did too. I thought maybe it was 20 minutes out of it. How long a drive is it?
It's 5 hours. And
5 hours.
Apparently a lot of people just fly from Alice Springs to Uluru, which is like, it's just crazy. I never thought about that. But
we're not gonna do that.
No.
See, 5 hours from Alice. Look at all this shit around here. Owen Springs Reserve, West MacDonald National Park. We're going to be checking out all that shit, right? We'll be driving in there and hanging out at these watering holes. Hell yeah.
Which is like, it's just crazy. I never thought about that.
That drone medical delivery video was rad. That was pretty cool. That was rad.
But
we're not gonna do that.
No.
We're driving there tomorrow, like we said. Today there's supposed to be some kind of cool stuff actually close in Aussie terms.
So like
an hour away, but there's supposed to be a really cool
chasm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Catherine Gorge, not Catherine Gorge. There's a wetland right there near Alice called. No, can't remember. Look at that, dudes. I mean, I'm an Aussie and I've never seen landforms with that kind of color in the rocks. Check it all out. Yeah, if you're going to do it right. Exactly. And that's why we're going to take more time to do it, you know, like 7 weeks or something. That looks like Spain. The geology, the history, man, the landforms, the public restrooms, hell yeah. Stanley Chasm.
This is the Stanley Chasm walk?
Yep.
They're saying it for real, it's chasm, right?
And it's gonna look like this.
I'm so excited.
It's nice to be on our feet again, doing a hike instead of sitting in the car.
Yeah, my gosh. So this whole area is completely owned and operated by the local Aboriginal people, and they don't get any help from the government to maintain this place. So there was a fee. It was $24 for the two of us.
Yeah, AUD.
Which is like,
so.
it's still a great.
That's pretty reasonable, I think. And there's great facilities back here. There's a nice cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, bang!
This whole.
Chasm, orgasm, which is it? I think it's orgasm.
I know, I said this before. This whole area just feels like home, and it's cool that we've been around the world and we just find like little pockets of places that remind us of home. It feels kind of nice.
Look at these things. We've seen them all over Australia. but they're so cool. It's like an ancient
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
2 for scale.
Oh.
It's just it looks like it should be so much smaller.
Yeah, doesn't it?
So cool. Do you guys ever hike with someone that stops to look at absolutely everything?
Yes. You got a silver palm tree that looks kind of like that. Oh, right, okay. That's cool. Damn!
It's cool because all the voices echo in the canyon walls.
That looks rad.
Like a,
How cool is it against her jumper, her sweater? It's almost the same coloring. That's so cool. Suki will love this trip. Man, I hope everybody loves it, right? I hope everybody gets off on it. I know I sure will. Yeah, man, me too. I'm psyched already just looking at this.
a cool, whimsical kind of place. That's really neat. We were reading a sign that the sunlight is orientated in such a way that the sunlight only hits it for 90 minutes a day. So it's pretty chilly right now.
Rad. Australia, mate. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that was really cool. It's a lot shorter than I thought it was.
This whole hike is maybe 30 minutes. I think there's a way you can get to the top, which we're gonna go check out.
Yeah.
But at the back of the canyon there, the trail actually keeps going, but you have to start walking, wading through a bunch of water. And there's a group of, I don't know, maybe 15 or 20 guys that had done the entire hike, and it's a 13-day trek
Whoa,
that
shit.
goes all through here. That would be
We should come
freaking
back
awesome.
and do that one
Yeah,
day.
I
That
think-
seems awesome.
The wonder of
next time we
natural
come back to
beauty.
Australia,
Yeah,
we're
man.
definitely gonna do that type of thing. Just avoid the cities. That last little bit made it sound like I hate the cities in Australia. Tia said, that's not what I meant at all. It's just our preference is the outdoors.
And definitely the HR are the two of us.
The ATAR? The what?
I don't know. You think we're experienced walkers?
How do you...
A rock concert at that rock end would be way cool, like Red Rock Amphitheater. I like how they incorporated still pics within the stream, hence my idea earlier. Take photos.
Even like start to measure that. You know, holes in the bottom of our shoes, does that count?
See, that looks like Ghost Town Living. Yeah, I guess I'll be honing my landscape photography skills while I'm out there, because I probably will take my still camera as well. Photos with your original music as clips. Interesting. Yeah, okay. That's a bizarre skyline. Australia.
What the heck?
Oh shit, that's a burnt out car.
Wait, watch out for the glass.
Yeah, that'll buff right out.
Well, we're in the outback for sure now.
That was really weird. Like,
It was weird.
How
That's obviously a stolen vehicle, though. Trouble is not many people out there, I guess. For the rock concert, yeah.
does that even happen?
That was a modern vehicle too. Looks like it just burned down.
Yeah, because if it didn't, they would have cleared it by now, right?
That must
That
have
was
happened really recently.
right in the middle of the road. Wow. Well, I'm awake now.
Where are we going?
We woke up super early today because we're driving all the way to
Just hit a bird.
The story is don't run out of fuel. Yeah, I'm going to have, I mean, I'm obviously going to have a jerry can, but I'm thinking I might maybe somehow do two jerry can mounts. I'm going to buy a dual horror. And by the way, Dale, they're going to have to go on the roof. There is a way to do them on the back tailgate, but you need to put a swing bar on it, and it's just super expensive, like $2,000 to get a swing mounted. But I'm going to be putting on the roof, but they're going to be horizontal dual jerry can holders. But one of them I'm going to have water in, right? I think. Convoy would be safer. There is conversation about some of Marty's friends coming. Yeah, some of Marty's friends are coming. So we potentially have 2 sets of people coming with us. So potentially 3 vehicles in totes. If not just one, because there's definitely one set of crew that are dead set keen to come. And then there's a potential for another couple to come as well. Tow a small tanker, right.
These little birds keep flying out.
Oh. The rest of the drive hasn't been this rough. It's just this section.
Yeah. We're ending up in Uluru today.
Yep.
But we got a very early start because we also want to check out Kings Canyon.
Yep.
Jesus.
Wait, do you think it's just a section, or do you think it's the whole thing?
We looked it up and this is supposed to be completely sealed.
Shoot.
I got a rental.
We're gonna put the drone up and see how far this dirt road goes
That's a good idea.
because we don't want to kill Blueberry,
Yeah, and there's a
Blueberry.
between us and Kings Canyon.
potentially.
That brew is looking tasty, dude.
It's all dirt road.
Everything we read said it was sealed, though. Maybe it's just the
The
southern.
southern road.
Oh, Dale, the stars out there at
Go
night.
down that road.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We could do like long exposure GoPro footage. That's rad.
What a
Great
dumb
head and dark
mistake.
ass, dude. But by the way, Netsky, I'm gonna have to do like before we go. I'll make sure that I got maybe 3 brews to come with me. 3 brews for 7 weeks, plus some hard liquor.
So we turn back and drive a couple hours the way we came.
Yep.
Well, we're back in Alice Springs, getting the gas to replace everything that we just wasted
Stargazing.
on that extremely long detour.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So I bet the Australians out there are kind of laughing at us about this.
I'll
really
bring the ganja. Now that's illegal. I don't know what you're referring to either at this point.
silly mistake, and we are too. That was, gosh. We did see that you can go from
Kings
Alice
Canyon.
Springs-
I've heard of Kings Canyon. That's what I was trying to think of before. Kings Canyon is a must-see, must-do. See, if you're up in Alice and you're going to go to the Rock, people normally just go straight back down and then cut across. But if you cut through all this back out here, I got a 4-wheel drive, dudes. We could do that. Hell yeah!
to Kings Canyon to Uluru on sealed roads. What we didn't see is that it's certain sealed roads, and the route that we took, obviously it ended. So,
They got all that way and then they turned back?
took,
Dude, you were so close to the best thing ever. Kings Canyon is phenomenal, apparently. Damn.
obviously it ended. So, today kind of turned into a 9-hour travel day. And we won't make it to Kings Canyon today, obviously. But, yeah. I would love to hear you guys in the comments tell us what your biggest travel blunder has been. Because it'd make us feel better.
They went down the main route, south. Oh, look at that.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
Dude. I just got a little emotional. It's not even my video, and it brought it that just the sight of that brought me to a little bit of a tear. It's impressive, isn't it? Imagine how much is underneath the ground as well. Yeah, okay, I just got a little bit of a teary eye there, folks.
God.
That's all one rock?
Oh my god, it's huge.
That's crazy, man. What's it composed of? Rock? Some form of rock, dude. What minerals? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
We made it. Uluru.
Oh my god, look at this.
Feels like we've unlocked something.
Looks like a giant red turd. It does have the shape of a big fat shit, doesn't it? I know it's spiritual for the Aboriginals. Well, yeah, I mean that's what they say. It's a spiritual place, sacred. But there's so many places that are spiritual and are sacred. But I'm not Aboriginal, but that just the first glimpse of it did bring me to a little bit of a whoa.
I can see why people call this the heart of Australia.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It is truly way more amazing and large and everything than I thought it would be, you know? The pictures do not do it justice.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be this impressed, but man.
That's a pretty shitty
There's
shot.
a trail that you can take that goes all the way around the rock.
Oh shit, yeah. You know we're walking around it, dudes. We're walking that trail. We're streaming that walk.
But the park is actually closing in, what, an hour or two? So I think we're going to go try and watch sunset and then do this hike tomorrow morning.
We're out here looking a little ridiculous.
I want to get a time lapse of it.
Prepare yourselves for the best sunset shot you've ever seen.
So yeah, it's all.
hindsight, I may
Can you
have
climb on top? You can't. You used to be able to climb it, and they've stopped it now. And it looks like it's all fenced off in the terms of where you can and can't go. So it's all kind of pretty closed.
Committed to this time lapse. Hopefully it turns out okay. The sun's about to set.
Our neighbors are have a whole-on barbecue right next to us, and
I'm very envious right now. I mean, they set up like a table and chairs, and they really thought it through. That's awesome. Yeah, we just got here, but this is the most majestic thing I think I've ever seen.
Where are they going to stay?
Incredible. I'm so happy.
I don't think you can camp out there. Do they have there's nothing there. No restaurant, Netski. It's just a parking lot and the rock, as far as I'm aware. And I'm pretty certain they hammer you. You can't freedom camp. They come and move you on.
Got here in time for sunset.
Mind you, I'm just saying, if we have Luke Campbell with us, he's part Aboriginal. They can do anything. I'm just saying, right? Aboriginals can do anything in this country. They can light a fire anywhere they want. They can go anywhere they want. If Luke Campbell's there with us, we can go anywhere because he's part Aboriginal. Are there bathrooms? I mean, I've not been there, but I know that there's campgrounds around there because that's where the famous dingo took my baby. That's where that occurred. But look at that, dude. Like, man, as an Australian, you have to see this, right? Once in my life, I have to be there for sunset. Ideally, a few nights. It sounds like Luke is a must. Yeah, I mean, it'll all depend on where he is because he's so loose and he moves around so frequently. Getting Luke on board would be epic. I mean, for sure. It would be. It would suck if I went out there and we couldn't hook up with Luke. That would suck. But he is so loose. 1 minute he could be in Tasmania. The next minute he could be in Broome. But obviously we've got a year to sort of coordinate. But how it picks up the red of the sun, like that's That's crazy, right? Isn't that bizarre, dude? Isn't that strange? Just the color that thing captures. Fuck. The color change, it's phenomenal. Beautiful. So they do have a campsite. I wonder if they just freedom camped.
It got down to nearly freezing last night. We stayed warm.
Nearly freezing. When did they do this trip? 2 months ago. Okay, so that's August. So it's cold at nights and warm in the day. There you go. I want to know the mineral content. I want to mow the lawn and go fishing. I'll Google it. Okay, and then let us know too, Dale.
Got gas at this place next to our campground.
Total fuel trip, $2,284 Aussie.
$2.55 a liter.
Oh shit.
That might be the priciest we spent. I don't know. It's really remote here though. I can see why. Tia's in here getting something to eat, and we got a big hike today.
$2.55 a litre. I paid about $2.18 a litre here.
What'd you get?
I got you a hot coffee, and then I'm not saying I broke the machine, but the machine broke, so I got a cold iced coffee for me and some egg rolls with bacon.
Bacon egg roll.
All right, my darling.
Hell
What's
yeah.
the game plan?
Coffee first. I'm sorry.
Did you guys hearing that fly? That's a big ass fly. He landed somewhere. That's funny, huh?
Still waking up. I'm like defrosting. You know those turtles that come out of hibernation
It's sandstone. Okay, cool.
and they move like this? That's what I'm like right now.
I just told everyone that we stayed warm, and you're like, I'm defrosting. I guess I stayed warm.
We're gonna go hike around Uluru today. There's like a base.
You can walk around the entire thing.
Yeah, like the whole base of it, which is awesome. And I think it would take us like an hour or two to do. And then there's also another set of rocks that are pretty
The
famous
Olgas.
called Kata Tujuta? I
No.
don't know how to say that. And we're gonna go to those too. And then, wait, 50 kilometers, how far is that?
It's like a half hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, then we'll go do some stuff there. Yeah.
We're gonna stay in the area for a bit.
Hell yeah.
I just cannot get over the sheer scale of this thing. It's huge.
It's so bizarre. Huh. The rock, mate. Ularuskins. $50%
Whole texture of
feldspar.
Uluru changes every couple minutes. Like it was
Oh,
really
wow.
smooth, then it was like incredibly textured, and then now it's just like full of holes.
Huh.
And every image I've ever seen of Uluru was like always kind of from afar, and I always pictured it as like this really smooth rock.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all.
Is that erosion?
It's really neat.
The vibes here, and I'm not usually the type of person to talk about this, but the vibes here are just unlike, I think, any place I've ever been.
Yeah.
Ooh. What do you reckon he's going to say next? Is he going to say it's lousy or good vibes? Because they're like, these guys aren't Australian, so there's no real connection to this aside from, it's a marvel of the world. But as an Aussie, there's something more about it. Something that draws me in as an Australian. But this guy's not an Australian. So I wonder what he's going to say. Like, what's the vibe? Let's just hear how he brought this up.
It's really neat.
The vibes here, and I'm not usually the type of person to talk about this, but the vibes here are just unlike, I think, any place I've ever been.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because of how flat this desert generally is, and you just have this giant monolithic rock, or what it is, but it all sort of comes together to feel really just special, I guess. as we've been walking, the sun's getting higher in the sky, and it seems like the color of the rock changes depending on how the light's hitting it, and it's just, I don't know, it's really cool. It's really relaxing.
A few times on
Yeah, right. The mixture is somewhat unique. During heavy rains, waterfalls form. Yeah, I've seen photos of water falling off the rock. It looks pretty cool. What is this? Sensitive site. No photography or filming to the right of this sign. Malaputa is an Angara woman's site and is sacred under Chukurpa traditional law. The rock details and features are equivalent to a sacred scripture. They describe culturally important information and must be viewed in their original location. It is inappropriate for images of this site to be viewed elsewhere. Wow, that's the first time I've ever heard of that. Particular senior women are responsible for these stories, which are passed down from grandmother to granddaughter. In an oral culture, stories are family inheritance. Under Chikopopra, cultural knowledge is earned, and with it comes great cultural responsibility. Please do not photograph or film this site. Thank you. Okay, well, yeah. That's the first time I've ever encountered no cameras and no cameras in a outdoor setting. I mean, I've had that at gigs where the artist is like, no filming, no photos, but never at a rock. Okay. I mean, this is the kind of shit that Logan Paul would be like, fucking, we're going to go and film it. It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro. Filming culturally sensitive areas in Australia. That's what he'd do, right?
this trail so far, there have been signs saying not to take pictures or film in between these certain points because parts of the rock is still incredibly, I mean the rock itself, but sections of the rock have a lot of significance.
They likened it to like religious scripture.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay, so playing devil's advocate here, it could be conceived as it's a little bit of waffle, right? Now there's this big rock that there's sensitive sites of, parts of it are sensitive, but then go to the coast and they've obliterated hundreds of areas which might have had cultural sensitivity as well. And they've put up, you know, suburbs and schools and housing, and they just didn't give a shit about it. But now, because there's this big rock and it still exists, well, it's sensitive. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I'm not saying I'm for or against, but I'm saying that in one area they've been, what's the cognitive of the thing, and then in other areas they've gone, yeah, but we need to put a freeway here, so fuck your sacred area. Bam, they just bulldoze that shit down. It's all control bullshit. The dreaming, yeah, and like if you say that this is like a place of importance to Aboriginal elders, then why don't you do that? Why can't you show that same level of respect everywhere that happens? And by the way, a photo ain't going to hurt a rock, right? You could say that too, right? And I'm with you on that, right?
it's similar to a lot of other religions throughout the world. It's fairly common from what we've experienced where you're not allowed to.
Yeah, it's fairly common that you can't film in a church or you can't film at a sacred site and this and that. But that's all a load of bollocks too.
Film inside really significant buildings and stuff like that. And this is almost the equivalent.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going to break the rules, or I'm not going to like, I'm going to be respectful of the rules, but I'm just saying, like, where do you draw that line? Gibbs, number one reason I'm proud to be your friend. I love this stuff. Bravo. Thank you, Dale. And like, I'm not going to shy away from it as well. Of course, you get to a rock and there's a section of it that you can't point your camera at. Well, the natural response is why? Well, we believe that you have to be there to see it. It's like, not everybody can get there. What about people in wheelchairs that can't access that path? They're never going to see it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you have to be. Oh, cheers, Netsky. Yeah, you've got to be there to see it. What if you can't get there? What if you're in a hospital or something? What if you've? Yeah, I don't know, dudes. The NZ streams were mind-blowingly cool. Thank you, man. Thank you, dude.
Yeah.
Or at least that's how it's been phrased to us, and I find that very fascinating. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that can't be culturally appropriate running around on fucking, what are these things called? Two-wheelers. So you can't take a photo, but you can fang around on a diesel-powered two-wheeler. What are these things called? I mean, that's something. I note the irony of this, right?
We've been seeing signs for these Segway tours.
Segways, that's what they are. He notes the irony of it as well. Segway, right? Like, yeah, be culturally respectful and fang around the whole rock on a Segway. Heaps of noise, all the birds get scared.
Like way back in Dolly Waters for like 1,000 miles. And I didn't think they were real, but they are.
That can't be respectful, right? Surely that's not respectful. Segways running around the rock. Yeah, no pics, but a Segway is fine. You can fang past it, kicking up dust and scaring all the wildlife, but you can't take a photo. Pressing that shutter button is too noisy, dude. Yeah, Netski's... Oh, dude, what the hell? That looks rad. What? Look at the texture on that. That looks so cool. I've never seen anything like this. Yeah, Netski's in New Zealand. Christchurch.
Rivets? Waterways? Yeah, that's the word. That when it rains, it must
Rivulet.
look like the whole thing must turn into a waterfall.
That's bizarre, dude. No, look, have you ever seen rocks that look like that? I don't think I have. That's crazy, dude.
I don't even know what to say. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited to be here.
Looks amazing, right?
All right, you guys. I'm gonna say at least one person has been waiting for this the whole video. Because we've been waiting to do it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon they're going to do? They're not going to go over and touch it, are they? You can't. You're not let off the trail. They can't do that.
2 for scale. Oh wow, parkour to you.
What are they going to do?
He's afraid to cross the street. There she is. There's Tia.
For scale.
And
Fuck.
there's Uluru. Certainly the biggest rock I've ever seen. What do you think?
Biggest rock we've ever seen, by far.
Biggest Tia for scale, I think.
That's bizarre, right? What a cool sight, dude. You guys talking about Queenstown? Reminds me of Switzerland? Yeah. Why did we go to the moon? 2 reasons: national pride and geology. Okay.
Eiffel Tower.
Well, this is way bigger than the Eiffel Tower.
You think?
Volume-wise?
Well, I meant by height.
Volume?
So in most areas, the trail is, what, 50 to 200 feet away from the rock?
Mm-hmm.
But this is the only area you can get really close to it.
Am I allowed to touch it?
I think everyone else is. I'm going to touch it. All right. Wow, it's cold. I've never seen anything like this.
Why can't you swim there? Wouldn't that be rad to get a swim going?
A water hole, and it says on the sign here it's one of the most consistent places for water in the area.
Wait, I missed that. Can we just go back and look at how that water hole appears? Is that part of the trail, or did they walk to it? But you can skip rock across any pond.
Wow, it's cold.
So it's not clear where they are now. Are they on that trail again?
I've never seen anything like this.
Oh my god.
Can you take a swim there?
It's a water hole, and it says...
Ooh, dudes, is that the sign that says no filming? That looks like the same sign that says no filming. People will pee and poo in it. It would get fouled fast.
So
I'd swim in it.
It's one of the most consistent places for water in the area. And you can still hear water trickling down from the top of Uluru.
You can just feel something here. There's everyone that's coming through to look at it instinctually lowers their voices. There's no sound or anything. There's no signs or anything saying that. But even the kids start whispering. It just feels like it has the same feel as a religious site, like a church or something. I know I keep saying that today, but you just feel like you want to be quiet. It's so cool. I just,
Mosquito.
That's awesome.
That is pretty cool. What are that coloring there. That's just a piece of, that's a painting, right? Like, look at that, dudes. It looks like oil.
Takajuta, which I'd never heard of actually, but it's what, maybe 25, 30 miles away from Uluru?
Yeah.
And it's less of a uniform rock apparently, but it has like more different formations and stuff.
Yeah, more bulgy. Can I say that? I feel really ridiculous right now. The sign said, or the thing we read said it was good for picnics, so I'm carrying a plate of PB&Js, and it's actually kind of a long walk, so I feel like I look ridiculous right
Peanut
now.
butter and jelly. Connection to the primal basic nature, that's compelling, like a magnet to the soul. Look, the more I look at this, the more I think that Luke Campbell is pretty critical, I think, to this mission, because we're at Ayers Rock here, which is the tourism center, but Luke Campbell would know hundreds of places that are completely off the trail, right? How many views has this vid had, Gibbs? 66,000. So it was uploaded 2 months ago, 66K.
Oh my god.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Oh, wow. They were that far. They must have driven away from it. Dude, look at that for scale, right? What the hell?
Oh, here is Uluru,
Yeah, we can see it, buddy.
way over there, and Takajuta.
That's cool.
Wow, it is significantly larger than Uluru.
Taking the Aussie native is key. Yeah. I'd agree.
It's like,
Yeah.
what an awesome overlook. This has such strong Lion King vibes to it.
Everything
one
the
over
light
here.
touches.
I
That's Tremio's
think-
favorite movie, by the way.
Of everywhere that we've been in Australia, this place exemplifies the vastness the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
We were a bit bummed about not being able to complete the circumnavigation, but
I didn't go to
this
Kings
is completely
Canyon.
worth it. I'm so glad that we turned around.
Yeah, me too. It was really neat for me because growing up, my mom talked about this place all the time.
Wow.
And she actually backpacked Australia in her 20s. And she just like was this Japanese person who didn't speak any English, came here on a Greyhound bus. And
Wait, she's Japanese? Shit. I like this couple. Yeah, they seem pretty cool. We watched their content once before. You might get invited to tribal parties. I mean, Luke Campbell, yeah, he's the ticket in, right? He's the ticket in for sure.
just like explored Australia. So it was just, it's really cool to like walk in the footsteps of like my mom.
Yeah.
Aw.
That's the cool part about travel, I think.
We're gonna eat our sandwiches, and then we're gonna go check out Takajuta, but we're gonna call it here. Thanks for coming with us, you guys, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Pretty sick, dudes. I will give you a link to that if you want to go and check that out. I'll pop it in the Chisel chat here. Their channel is the One Pack Wanderers, and you can go and see it by looking at that link. We have more content. I've got another link here, Alice Springs, or things to do in Alice Springs. So I want to take that, but I need to go to the bathroom. I want to get a Jack as well, but I'll go to the bathroom first. What? Are you still here? Go to the bathroom. Go! All right, things to do in Alice Springs, folks. If you ever find yourself out there, where am I? Hold on a sec. You ever find yourself out there in Alice Springs? Here's a video from Before You Go is the channel. This video went up 6 months ago. Things to do in Alice, which is the town 5 hours from Uluru.
Alice Springs is a remote town in Australia and the third largest town in the Northern Territory. Want to make the most of your trip to this part of the country? Well, here are the top things to do in Alice Springs.
And I am not a computer telling you what to do.
Be sure to stick around until the end, as the #1 attraction will rock your world. Number
Okay.
9. Take a tour around the Alice Springs Desert Park. A significant part of Australia's mainland is covered by its arid desert, and a desert experience is one of the things to look forward to during your trip to this country. Well, lucky for you, you can get this exciting experience here in Alice Springs at the Desert Park. The Alice Springs Desert Park is an environmental education.
You guys are talking about the number of views on that video. It's impressive. 66K in 2 months. That's yeah, they're doing well. They're doing well. By the way, the more I'm seeing this, the more I'm thinking the drone. What was that noise? Don't worry about it. Just the house settling in the wind. The drone is critical, right? And patching in a feed from the drone into the stream, that's going to be critical. It can be done.
Facility and wildlife park, and it is also an excellent place to start your tour of the town. The park opened in 1997 and has since become a popular tourist
Jesus, this guy's voice is like nails on a chalkboard. I just farted. Good timing.
destination here. This forest park covers about 1,300 acres of land and perfectly interprets the typical Australian desert environment. A tour of this park will open your eyes to the beauty of the desert and its inhabitants. You'll get to see thriving desert wildlife that includes kangaroos.
Wait. He's in a caged park in Alice Springs. That's ironic. Hey, that shit's everywhere. It's like that's like going to visit an aquarium under the water. You're already under the water, right? What?
Moose and several birds of prey. Plus, while the desert park is pretty much similar to a safari park, it's also a natural history museum that shows just how diverse and lovely Australian deserts are. No doubt, you'll enjoy every second you spend exploring these parts. Number 8. Check out the exciting artworks at Araluen Cultural Precinct. Australia is known for many things, including its rich history and culture. Well, if you want to see Australia's culture at its very best, you may want to head down to the Araluen Cultural Precinct. This place was formerly a center for art and entertainment, but it has since developed into a full-fledged cultural precinct with cultural facilities and heritage artifacts on display. However, the art center remains the most popular attraction in the precinct, with 4 outstanding art galleries exhibiting over 1,000.
With peace and love, I don't really want to go to an art gallery when I'm in the wild. I want to go out and I want to be outside, you know, with peace and love. I saw a cartoon recently. A child was talking to his stuffed animal tiger.
1,100 unique art pieces. In the art galleries, you'll find many of the lifetime works of Australia's contemporary art pioneer, Albert Namatjira, along with excellent pieces from other Aboriginal artists. The precinct also houses 3 museums and a theater that hosts live music, dance, drama, and movie shows from time to time. Of course, you already know that your time here will be both educational and entertaining, and it's an experience you don't want to miss. Number 7. Hike the Lara Pinta Trail. Hiking often ranks among the top tourist activities in Australia.
We call it bushwalking, not hiking. I saw a cartoon recently. A child was talking to his stuffed animal tiger, asked if Hobbes the tiger wanted to go to the zoo. Hobbes responded, sure, we could take a visit to the prison after that. I thought that was brilliant. The tiger, right, yeah. Calvin and Hobbes, yeah? Cool. I know the one. Funny.
And it's no different in Alice Springs. In fact, Alice Springs features some of the best hiking trails in the country, including the breathtaking Lara Pinta Trail. This trail is an extended walking track in Alice Springs, and it's a popular trail for hikers in the Northern Territory of Australia and beyond. The trail is not a very difficult one to trek, but the highly lengthy track makes it pretty demanding. On average, it takes about 14 days to walk the 138 miles long Lara Pinta Trail from end to end.
Wow.
But then, you can join guide.
We'll just do a segment of it, huh?
Tours to explore only the trail's most diverse and interesting sections in a significantly shorter period. The trail passes through some of the most
Dude, look at how that
interesting
land...
sections in a significantly shorter period.
Look at how that land just cuts itself off. Like, it almost looks like a wave, right? Like the wave is rolling in. That looks sick, man. What a bizarre country. It's just such a strange landform. What do the Aboriginals eat there? It must have been tough survival. Oh, they worked it out. Grubs, animals, they've sussed that shit out. Luke Campbell will know. We'll learn.
The trail passes through some of the most spectacular sceneries in Australia's mainland.
A land
and
wave.
You'll see several important sacred sites along the way. Surely, this is a great way to test your physicality while exploring the impressive landscapes in Central Australia. Number 6. See different reptile species at the Reptile Center.
Oh,
Australia is widely revered for its abundant reptile species.
Go to the Reptile Center. Can we skip this shit? You're outside, dude. Why do you want to... Okay, so this is tailored to... I don't know who, but I'm going to see snakes. I'm not going to go to a fucking zoo to see the shit, hey?
Often said that a visit to Alice Springs is incomplete without exploring the historic telegraph station. And it may be true after all. The Telegraph Channel is the most historic preservation in this town, and it has even been referred to as the birthplace of the town on many occasions. Well, for a start, it was the original site of the first European settlement in Alice Springs, and it dates back to 1871.
That's where you get your 4G connectivity.
When it was established to relay messages to the Adelaide Overland Telegraph Line. Today, it is a major attraction in this town and has been adopted as part of the Alice Springs Telegraph Station Reserve. It is located just about 3 miles from the center of town, making it easily accessible to locals and tourists. The reserve is also a favorite picnic and barbecue destination for occupants of this town, thanks to the lush trees and cafe established within. But that's not all. The historic reserve also helps you learn about the tough pioneers and Aboriginal people that played a part in the establishment of the town. By the way, if you want to learn how to save money on airfares, then click the link.
Get the fuck out of there. Kangaroo sanctuary? Are you kidding me, dude? I see enough kangaroos every day driving to work. I don't need to go to a sanctuary for that shit. Okay, this video is garbage. Telegraph is down 0000069. So kind of like hex. Oh shit! You had to go there, didn't you?
John Flynn was an Australian Presbyterian minister and...
I don't care about a minister who probably fiddled with children. Okay, so this video is shit. Look. There's another one we're going to watch, but that one was garbage, right? I've got this video here lined up, which is interesting because Adelaide to Coober Pedy to Alice Springs. Now, if you look at a map of Australia, I'll show you this in a second. I'll be back on Cornell. If you go to Adelaide, okay, Adelaide, the city I used to call home. This city is on a place, or in a place called South Australia. So just for historical sake, I am here. Can we see where I am? We just go in a little. I am over here on the East Coast, and Alice Springs is up here, right there. You see my mouse? And Adelaide is to the south. So arguably, you got my mouse there? Can my mouse go bigger? Adelaide right here is the drop-off point. If you head north from Adelaide, bam, 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 you wind up in Alice, and then you can drive the 5 hours to Uluru. So I never did that, but this next video we're going to see is doing this route from Adelaide north up to Alice. So that's what this video is. But I'm going to need a jack before we can watch this. What do you got there? A didgeridoo player YouTube watch. Only a short video, but it sounds nice. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll play that while I go and get my jack. Let me grab that linky poop. Is that a real link, dude? YouTube. I don't think that's not a real link you put in the chat, dude. If you're gonna link shit up, link it correctly. That's not gonna work. I copied the watch. I copied watch. Ah, shit! Hold on a sec, I'm on the wrong screen. Oh, that came up. Okay. Okay, I'll play this, and I'm going to the bathroom. Going to go to Jack and going to the bathroom. Play skins.
Well, here we have the finished product. You've seen me cut the didgeridoo, scrape all the bark back, and here's the finished product, painted as well with the tamar on it. The didgeridoo is one of the world's oldest wind instruments. And what's so unique about the didgeridoo is that it doesn't have a reed, it doesn't have finger holes. It's up to you to do the sound, to produce the twangs with your tongue, with your lips, and do the sounds in your voice box. I can show you how to play the didgeridoo, but it's up to you to put the time and effort into practicing every day, 1 hour, 2 hours, to play it and so forth. Now, to play the didgeridoo, you've got to do a sharp raspberry.
Sharp raspberry.
Don't blow like a trumpet because it's not a brass instrument, it's timber. This is what it sounds like. If you blow it hard like a trumpet,
No
it
good.
sounds pretty terrible. Blow softly. Try and do some twangs also with your tongue.
Wait, we must have bumped onto another video then. That looks like a 9-minute tutorial on how to play the didge by David Hudson. Appreciate the link though. I was out getting my jack. Dowski, I highly recommend a movie, The Right Stuff, about the early days of NASA and space exploration. I am going to get myself a little sneaky screenshot of that because I'm all about good movies. Although, you did recommend an absolute shocker one time. What was it? What was that movie that you recommended? It was fucking terrible. I can't recall. Either way, folks, we've still got some of this lovely Tennessee taster left over from yesterday. Of course we do. I'm going to have one right now with cock. And then we're going to get on to Adelaide, Cooper Pedy, Alice Springs mission. Get the fuck off this tiny rock. Getting excited, though. The more I watch this, the more I'm like, yep, we're going to make this happen. And what a journey, right? What a journey to bring you yahoos on board for this. It's going to be fun, right? Thank you. Oh, the fly's back. The lizard's still under my bed. You know what's going to happen? He's going to come out at night. He's going to want to get out. And I'm going to be like, dude, you had all day to get back out into the outdoors. Why did you spend it all? Why did you hibernate under my bed for the whole day? You could have easily snuck out whenever you wanted to. Let's take a look at the Outback Road Trip Part 1.
G'day throttlers and welcome back to the channel. Now, I'm on holidays, so I'm not going to be filming a lot for you guys, but I know that a lot of you have asked me to feature a couple of little things along the way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little bit of a highlight reel to keep you involved on my holiday, even while I'm having a bit of a break from using cameras and editing software.
Wait. Who's this dude? We're watching his YouTube channel.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
With peace and love. Oh, fuck you. Excuse me for being a flawed human, Dale. Not all my recommendations are 100% with peace and love. With peace and love. What's this guy talking about? You're not going to shoot a video, but yet you've got a video on YouTube? You can't have it both ways, man.
But I'm currently in the South Australian outback, just north of Port Augusta. This is day 3
Flinders.
for me on the road. I haven't filmed anything up until now. I went Sydney to Balranald, Adelaide, Adelaide, today, Port Augusta.
So he's a Sydney boy. Nefarious movie is well worth a watch. There's a link to it. Okay, I'll get a screenshot of it. Oh, hang on. I'll just click the link. No, I'll copy the link. I just copied that link, dude, and I'll, well, I guess I'll open up a new browser and pop it in there, and I'll check it out at my own leisure time.
And my
For your late night viewing gives. Dude, I watched The Dark Knight last night, and I mean, I read the Wikipedia entry for The Dark Knight, the Batman film, right? And it's like widely regarded as the greatest superhero movie of all time. I'm like, okay, this will be good. It's got Heath Ledger. He's an Aussie. Well, he was an Aussie before he died. He's still an Australian, but he's dead. It was... I can't. I just don't like that shit. Anyway.
Destination today is Cooper Pedy. So, super pumped as well. I just passed my first ever wild emus. On the side of the road, there was about a dozen emus just there grazing. And super pumped because, I mean, I've seen bunches of emus on farms and in zoos and all that sort of stuff. But to see them on the side of the road in the wild, in the outback, it's my first time to the outback.
It's pretty common to get to see emus. By the way, I'm getting overload encode error. I'm going to definitely change back to the hardware encoder. Hey, I didn't get off on it either. Yeah, I'm not into it. Let me just stop for a second. I wanna ask you guys this. In the streaming from Steve Van streams that we've done, I've got the cabin camera, and I've got the camera on top of Steve Van. So I'm going to do a similar thing, but one thing that I am going to do is the camera that views the road, I'm going to mount that inside GoVan. We managed to do this fine on top of the vehicle, but I always thought, what if it fucking hammers down with rain? We got to bring that shit in. So if it's inside the vehicle, like a dash cam essentially, but with a better view quality, I'll mount it in the perfect spot so that it gets the view of the road, but it's inside the cabin. But what I wanted to ask you, because I have... Where is it? This is my switcher, which I use to switch. This is what came out of Steve Van, right? This has inputs for 4 HDMI inputs, so 4 sources and 1 output. And then you can switch between them by choosing camera sources, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm getting at is, I've only ever used 2 of them. Which ones are the inputs? Doesn't really matter. That's the output. So that's the output, this one here. And these ones here are inputs. So I've only ever used 2 inputs. But what I'm going to ask you is, there's the option for 4 cameras. So would you think that we need a 4th or a 3rd and 4th camera source? And if I could just hear some bizarre noise. And if you do think that there's an option for another camera, where would that camera point? So right now there's a camera in Steve Van, or there will be, and it's the cabin. So it's both the passenger and the driver. It's a wide shot. It used to be the GH5. What the fuck's going on out there? There's a lot of noise out there. Oh, sorry, I'm just getting distracted by bizarre noises. Sorry, I'm totally blindsided by how much noise is coming from outside. I like the driver's eye view. The driver's eye view. I'd go back view and side view. What the fuck is that noise? That's weird. What a strange noise. I've never heard that noise before. It's just a bizarre screeching noise. I mean, it's holiday season. So we get a long weekend here in Australia tomorrow. So hang on. So driver's eye view. So that would be a GoPro mounted behind my head, looking down on the steering wheel. Is that what you're saying? Flies back. I would go for a back and side. Back and side. So behind me, like what's coming behind me. One of you on the one at you, one on the front road, and side and back would be cool as. So this does bring to this. This does bring up this question. Do you remember a channel on DLive called Top Duck? Do you recall Top Duck, right? What was it? It was a batshit boring live stream of a duck farm with multiple cameras, but you yahoos could choose which camera was active. Should I try to work that shit out so that you yahoos can choose which camera you view? We've got the inputs for 4 of them, right? Yeah, there's 4 camera options. Oh my fucking god, quack.
I just farted.
I just farted. That mosquito, that fly is just having a great time. So yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is, how do you do that shit? Do we want to do that or do we not? I don't know about a camera behind, like the reverse camera. I don't know. Top Duck was pathetic. That's when DLive died for me. Yeah. Are they still around, by the way? Are they still doing it? Lame as fuck. Yeah, it was shit. It was shit. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up, and yeah, you know, I'm having a jack. Come on, Emu.
I was pretty pumped, pretty excited. Anyway, I didn't have time to put the camera on, but I'll be sure to try and capture little bits and pieces of my holiday for you guys. So sit back and enjoy.
Great outdoors. By the way, the reason I liked the GoPro outside the vehicle was because you never got the windscreen reflection. It will be a strain on your bandwidth with so many people changing views. That's true. That's true. That's true. Jazzy music. What did he search for when he went into the YouTube studio and went, find me up-tempo, that's a big-ass fly. I love this song. Oh, a little... He put that in. He added that train horn. He added that input. I can hear the damn fly. Right, of course you can. You can get a weatherproof outside GoPro on the roof. Oh yeah. I could put a GoPro in a housing for sure. For sure. I don't want to though. By the way, this guy's funny. I like the fact this one is panning around, and that's the other thing too. I could obviously move the one that's in front of me in the cockpit. By the way, I've got to take another slash, folks. Let me give you guys something to view while we'll play this from the start, and I'll take a quick slash.
G'day throttlers, and welcome back to the channel. Now,
throttlers.
I'm on holidays, so I'm not going to be filming a lot for you guys, but I know that a lot of you have asked me to feature a couple of little things along the way. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little bit of a highlight reel to keep you involved on my holiday, even while I'm having a bit of a break from using cameras and editing software. But I'm currently in the South Australian outback, just north of Port Augusta. This is day 3 for me on the road. I haven't filmed anything up until now. I went Sydney to Balranald, Adelaide today, Port Augusta, and my destination today is Cooper Pedy. So super pumped as well. I just passed my first ever wild emus. On the side of the road, there was about a dozen emus just there grazing, and super pumped because, I mean, I've seen bunches of emus on farms and in zoos and all that sort of stuff. But to see them on the side of the road in the wild, in the outback, it's my first time to the outback. I was pretty pumped, pretty excited. Anyway, I didn't have time to put the camera on, but I'll be sure to try and capture little bits and pieces of.
So instead, just watch this stock footage of an emu.
My holiday for you guys. So sit back and enjoy.
Yeah, we get to hear this tune again. It's got it all, hasn't it? It's got the groove. It's got the vibe. Loving it. He cued that in. Ooh. Was that Flinders? The Salt Lakes, Lake Air?
Okay, with about 6 hours and 20 minutes done from Adelaide, I land here in a place called Glendambo. Now I've just...
Now that's an Aussie name. Glendambo. Glendambo, Australia.
I land here in a place called Glendambo. Now I've just fueled up. I've got 255 kilometres until I get to Cooper Pedy, and I only had about 240 kilometres worth of fuel. So I've topped up. I've now got 446 kilometres of fuel, and I've found myself what looks to be a nice little pub. I might
go and get a schooner, mate. You deserve it. It's Friday, baby. Fuck, I deserve a schooner of new.
Stop here for lunch and have a feed and a rest, and then keep going.
Same tune from the One Pack Wanderers. This tune must be like YouTube studio freeness. You know this. Glendambo Roadhouse. I kind of want to start using this lousy music in my live streams. Like, can we feed it in, like patch in an audio source while we're driving with like stock YouTube studio music? Looks epic, Aussie. Dude, Net TV, you've been over the ditch, right? You've been here before, surely. It's a bit loud. Poopsie christened a new Aussie town, Daybold Town. Did she? When? I missed that. When did she do that? She. Only to Sydney, Gold Coast and Brisbane to fly out. Oh.
Okay, so I guess I better tell you a little bit about this trip. So, we've been planning a trip, Mrs. Throttle and I, to Uluru, Ayers Rock.
Yeah.
We wanted to do it before COVID, then COVID happened. We
Bugger.
didn't get to do it. So, now that we can travel again, we started planning again. And the idea was to fly into Alice Springs, hire a car, drive all the way to Adelaide, drop the car off, fly home. When we did some research about car hire, it was going to be almost 8,000.
So in Australia, we say hiring a car. The rest of the world rents a car. We hire a car. I know. you hire someone to do a job, it should be rent a car. We also used to hire videos. I'm not kidding. There was video hire in this country. You guys in America, it's renting, right? You rent a video, you rent a car, and that makes more sense. I don't know why we mixed it up. We hire a car, we hire a video. In New Zealand, we hire as well. It's weird, isn't it, Netsky? Isn't that strange? Like you're hiring someone to do a job. You're not hiring a vehicle. Like you're renting a vehicle. It's bizarre. But anyway, there it is right there. In the flesh, Australia, Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi.
The idea was to fly into Alice Springs, hire a car, drive all the way to Adelaide, drop the car off, fly home. When we did some research about car hire, it was going to be almost $8,000.
I want to mow the lawn and go fishing.
I want to mow the lawn, go fishing, then hire a car. And then I want to hire Crocodile Dundee on VHS and get some popcorn and have a good night at home. Hire a trailer, car, you name it, but you rent a house. Okay, I would rent a trailer, rent a car, rent a tractor, and rent a house. When you hire someone, you're hiring the labor of that person, right? You're hiring someone to do a task.
So what I decided is that I'll drive one of our cars.
Fucking Australia, right? Can't live here. Let's get out of here. This country sucks. It's shit. All the lingo's all up backwards, right? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. By the way, there might be, I'm just saying, there might be a little alcohol in this Jack. I'm just saying, just putting that out there, right? If there wasn't, I'd be sending it back for a refund.
All the way across, Mrs. Throttle would fly into Alice Springs and would still do the same holiday, and then she'll fly home from Adelaide. So that's what we've done. So essentially, I'm on day 3. I left Sydney on Monday. By
the way, this guy looks pretty honest, pretty genuine. Hey, he's an older dude like me, lapping up the idea of putting a camera in your face. Cool guy. What's his channel called again? Mrs. Throttle, Mr. Throttle. Throttle Down Under. I like it. Throttle Down Under. I'll tell you what, you guys can also like it. Go over there and like this shit. Here's the linky poop in the chisel chat. Go and give the Throttle Down Under some love, skins.
Reynolds on the first day, across the Hay Plains. Nothing really exciting to film across there. It was just a lot of rain and road trains and flat roads.
I've driven across those Hay Plains a few times. It's pretty boring. There might be a little Jack in this alcohol. Right on, Daleskins. Right on. By the way, I've still got a little... Oh, dudes, check this out. Let me just cut off that for a second. Look at this. Marty bought this when he was here. Plantation rum. Have you guys had this? Fuck yes. This is the bomb. Dude, that is such a good... That's up there with Bounty rum from Fiji. Original dark. I kind of wish you could smell it. It's not smellable through a stream, but... Damn, that is good. I mean, we should get a case of this for the trip, right? That's so rad. I mean, that's good, just neat, room temperature. I'm mixing Jack with Coke, but I do have that, and I have a smashing of the 1.75 litre Jack left. The big ass one. Look at the size difference. Look at that size difference. Where's the bottom of the... Make them level. Dude, that is a big difference in sizes, hey? 1.75 versus that little doozy. I might have that later, though. I might do that. I might enjoy that myself. I won't be touching that, though. That's... Oh, and I also satisfied my curiosity. I've had a craving for this shit. I don't know why. Hey, I never eat M&Ms, but the last 6 weeks or so, I've just been like, peanut M&Ms. Hell yeah. And up until yesterday, I haven't had them. For 6 weeks, I've been like, gotta get me some peanut M&Ms. Gotta get me some. And I never got me some. Last night, I was like, I'm getting some. So I went and got a big pack. I think I might have gone overboard. There's a lot in there. They're nice, though. Peanut M&Ms. I looked into that scotch the other day. Grant's. It's not great. Grant Scotch. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not that great. But instead, dude, fuck that. Get the plantation rum. Do that instead.
Day 2, Balranald to Adelaide. Again, nothing too exciting. I did most of the trip in the dark. I left really early and got into Adelaide at lunchtime. Caught up with the Bolt Bucket, which was really, really nice to hang out with him for a little bit. And then slept, and today is the big day. It was 9 hours from Adelaide to Cooper Pedy. And I'm an hour out of Cooper Pedy now, and I'm absolutely buggered.
I'm knackered, boy.
Getting a bit heavy-eyed.
Plantation rum. Hell yeah, Dale. Do it. Do it, man. I know you like your shit. You're going to dig plantation rum. You'll dig that more than you'll dig the Grant Scotch, I think.
I'm driving, so I pulled over to a little rest stop to look at the scenery, which is pretty bloody amazing, to be fair, and just get a bit of a fresh air, have a stretch, and then punch in the last 1 hour into Cooper Pedy. Tonight,
By the way, Cooper Pedy, folks, for those that don't know, is quite famous. It's a famous town in Australia in the sense that the bulk of the residents of Cooper Pedy actually live underground. Underground. It's so hot. It's famous for its opal mining, and most of the township is under the soil. Kind of like Star Wars, right? Tantanui, that shit, right? They're living in the soil. It's bizarre. I hope he shows it to you. I'll show it to you as well when we get there, but obviously like satellites won't work underground, but we can, you know, whatever we'll do. We'll show you. It's only $21 for a litre bottle. Good price. Boom, ordered. Damn, dude, you get such cheap prices in your country. I miss it.
Staying underground at Cooper Pedy in an old mine shaft.
Snap.
Again, Mrs. Throttle doesn't want to stay underground on the way back down, so I'm doing it on the way up so I can actually have the experience. Anyway, time for me to do some stretching, have a bit of water, and get ready for the final stretch into Cooper Pedy. 1 hour to go. Look at this. Absolutely amazing.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Cinematic tings. Cue the lookup table. What the fuck is going on with your vision, dude? Remember that period of YouTube where it was all teal and orange? Oh my god, I hated that at the time. I remember telling Nick Cole, I'm like, dude, don't do that teal and orange shit. Remember everybody was like color correcting their footage to be teal and orange? It's just stupid, right? Like, you're supposed to be showing, like, imagine going to Alice Springs, imagine going to Uluru to the Rock, and then color correcting so that the Rock doesn't look the color, but it looks cinematic. I was like, that's fucking stupid, dude. We want to see what the Rock actually looks like. We don't want to see this crazy. Do you know what happened? People were taking when GoPros there was a point there where GoPros used, what do they call it? GoPro Raw or ProRes? No, that's Apple. It might be GoPro Res. Anyway, there was a point there where GoPros offered for the first time ever. I think it was the Hero 8 or 7. Might have been the 7 or 8. Anyway, they offered a flat profile, like basically like a raw photo that needs to be corrected in software after the fact. But all these fuckers on YouTube, these cinematic presenters were using the flat profile and posting it. It's like, dude, that's not a finished image. That's the raw file. You've got to color correct it from there. And then it jacked forward from that where they were like, okay, we're going to color correct it. We're going to make everything teal and orange. I was like, dude, don't, no. And I remember Nick Cole in particular, he was saying to me that, well, I want to create a cinematic experience. And I'm like, okay, I get that you want to do that, but why do you want to do that? Because what you're presenting is a vlog. You're showing me and you going down to sandy pools. We're going on a bushwalk to a watering hole and hanging out, and you want to present that like it's a feature Hollywood film? It's not. It's a vlog. It's just you and me going down to this watering hole and having a brew and sitting down. So showcase what it looks like. Don't color correct that shit. He was like, nah, man, cinematic things. It's stupid. Stupid. And what's going on here? I see a little bit of that. I don't know if he's done that. I mean, he's pointing it directly into the sky where it's overblown, but maybe he's trying to correct it. Anyway, I'm just yapping on because cinematic things was funny to me. And it looks like that teal and orange has gone, hopefully. He's doing a few stretches there. Yeah, so you got to color correct this shit to make it look more cinematic, hey? An old dude stretching? We all need to see that in the most beautiful color corrected. That's so stupid. Oh dear. Sorry, I'm a little forceful. I hope that song comes back on though. I do have to take another slash though. Can I just drop you guys back about a minute and I'll go and take a slash? Drop you back there. This doesn't happen when I'm live, by the way.
Day 2, Balranald to Adelaide again. Nothing
Balranald, not Balranald.
I did most of the trip in the dark. I left really early and got into Adelaide at lunchtime. Caught up with the Bolt Bucket, which was really, really nice to hang out with him for a little bit. And then slept, and today is the big day. It was 9 hours from Adelaide to Cooper Pedy. And I'm an hour out of Cooper Pedy now, and I'm absolutely buggered. I've been getting a bit heavy-eyed while I'm driving, so I've pulled over to a little rest stop to look at the scenery, which is pretty bloody amazing to be fair, and just get a bit of a fresh air, have a stretch, and then punch in the last 1 hour into Cooper Pedy. Tonight I'm staying underground at Cooper Pedy in an old mine shaft. Again, Mrs. Throttle doesn't want to stay underground on the way back down, so I'm doing it on the way up so I can actually have the experience.
Netsky, hard to think the world is a globe when you see the landscape like that. Oh, the flat. You want to do flat Earth now? I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to do that. Do I? I mean, how much Jack have I had? Do I want to? No, I don't. I don't want to do it, man. I can't flat Earth it right now. I can't.
Anyway, time for me to do some stretching, have a bit of water, and get ready for the final stretch into Cooper Pedy. 1 hour to go. Look at this. Absolutely amazing.
Levels! Exclamation. I knew that would get a tickle. You rub me the right way, Netsky. Man, I would touch that. I'd molest that conversation on a normal stream, but now I'm psyched about this trip, and I can't do it, man. I'm already on a tangent here with this teal and orange shit. Don't get me going on another tangent. This kind of sounds like Bon Jovi. And it's all the same. Only the places change. And all the rain. Never remain the same. What's that? And I'm wanted. Dead or alive. I know he wanted to use that song, right? In this stretching scene, he was like, man, I gotta put that Wanted Dead or Alive track by Bon Jovi. And he probably put it in and then he got dinged and he was like, okay, well, I'll replace it with generic music from YouTube that sounds like Bon Jovi. Here it is. And it's all the same. Only the places change. Seems I'm wasted all the day. And I'm wanted, dead or alive. I like that Bon Jovi song. I'm not hating on the song. I'm more commentating on the fact that he wanted to use it, but he couldn't because YouTube. It's funny. Yeah, that color correcting really makes me want to go there. Man, look at that. Looks like space, dude. Yeah, fuck yeah. Cinematic tings. What is up, thrill seekers? Only Hendrik would know. He's not here though. What is up, thrill seekers? Why would you color correct that? Like what? Look at that. Why would you do that? Why would you color correct that scene to look like that looks like snow? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I wouldn't do that. And he's wanted. Richie Santorum. Richie Sambora.
Yeah.
Like it was a Redbook CDI video way before MPG. CDI. I don't remember .cdi files. CDI. Only the places change. Seems I'm wasted. And I'm wanted. Dead or alive.
Alright, just checked into the Lookout Cave underground motel. So let's go in and have a look at what this is all about.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Went to a place in Spain? Like that? Was it Spain? Fuck, where were we? We went to a pub that was like literally built into the... Me and Lockie had a fucking rad night that night. Took these two girls up to this lookout. Where was that? No, that was in Strasbourg in Germany. Anybody from Strasbourg? No. Yeah, Dale Sambora. There may be some Jack in the alcohol. Yeah. Did you really think it was Richie Santorum? It's a funny name. Santorum. Cheers, Netskis.
Well, there you go.
Wow, that's bizarre.
Underground motel room.
Strasbourg. Yeah, I think that was where we were. We had a... So this vibe here that you're seeing in this hotel or this motel, we went to a rock venue, not for a show. We were on a day off, and I think we went for dinner somewhere, and then Dre and Mike went back to the... No, we all went to the pub. And then eventually Lockie and I met two lovely ladies, and Dre and Mike went back to the bus to sleep, and me and Lockie took them up to this lookout. And yeah, it was pretty rad. We had some... Yeah, we had some pretty... Dude, I gotta tell you the story, but I can't tell you the story because it's not fit for the stream, but we had a good time. French-German border, Strasbourg. Yeah. Don't tell us. Yeah, I'll keep that another time.
Well, this is my pad for the night, so I'm going to go and unpack the car and chill and maybe go and explore the town. All right, so I'm all checked in to the underground motel at Cooper Pedy here, but what a unique place. I've never seen a town like this. I know Mad Max was filmed out at Silverton, but this town just gives me real Mad Max vibes. So I'm just going to go for a bit of a wander. I want to find some food for dinner and just have a look around because I'm leaving here bright and early in the morning. However, I will be back here in a few days to spend a whole day here. So whatever I miss on this little bit, I'll bring to you in the future. But wow, what a cool joint.
I have a really cool Amsterdam story. Oh, I bet you do, Dale. I bet you do. I do as well. I have a few of them. I bet you do, man. Mad Max 1. Shit, that was a good film. Yeah. The original. Cooper Petey awakens on the dawn of another day.
What a
Good
magic
morning.
place. If you haven't been to Cooper Petey, you have to come here. It's such a unique, unusual, otherworldly sort of a place. Anyway, time to get some fuel. Head further north to Alice Springs.
Pretty overcast there, Cobber. That's pretty cool, that on-screen display on the windshield. That's pretty rad.
What I didn't realise is that this weekend in Alice Springs, which is where I'm heading now, is the red centre nats. So like our summer nats that we have down in Canberra. And the road has been full of...
For those that don't know Australia, Summer Nats is a festival of vehicles where a lot of bogans get together and showcase their cars, basically.
classic cars, hot rods, trailer rigs, the whole lot.
Was that Luke driving the coupe? No, it was not. Most of the interior of Australia is like desolate. Yeah, totally, dude. Full for sure.
So,
very
hopefully,
desolate.
if we're lucky, we'll be able to capture some very cool machines on the road today, heading to Alice. Anyway, I would say that my next 7 hours are going to be pretty boring. So let's just flick on a little bit of a highlight roll now and see you soon.
I think you meant highlight reel. 7 hours of a straight road.
There's not a lot out here, team. There's not a lot out here. There's just a lot of straight high-speed roads. A lot of animals. I've seen some beautiful wedge-tailed eagles. I've seen a couple of dead camels, snakes, goats, emus. I've seen a little bit of everything. And it's been very, very cool. And in particular, there was a kangaroo carcass on the side of the road that had 3 massive wedge-tailed eagles just sitting on him, having a bit of a feast. And they were bloody huge. They were magnificent big birds. Anyway, there's not much to show you out here, team. Just continue on. I've got a coffee from a little roadhouse called Marla, and gee, that was an experience, getting some fuel there and a coffee. I wouldn't be choosing to go back there if I don't have to, I can tell you that for a fact. Anyway, Alice Springs.
Marla gets the big thumbs down.
Oh, and by the way, if you're ever travelling up here, I've been beautifully listening to podcasts on Spotify, music on
I've been beautifully listening to
Spotify, audio books on Audible. Now today, from Cooper Petey North.
I'm a little... this guy's boring me. We're talking... come on, dude. Dude, what do we miss then? What the fuck? Air drums? Okay. There's some humor here. Maybe he's a drummer.
I'm just about to go into the Northern Territory.
The border. That's the border of South Australia and the Northern Territory, folks.
Look at that. I've made it. My first ever time to the Northern Territory, and I'm just about to cross the border.
Cool,
I'm
cool.
absolutely pumped.
Do it. I gotta tell you, I'm not really enjoying this guy. I had high aspirations, but not a lot going on here.
And to be completely honest, I'm really looking forward to getting into Alice. And
To be completely honest, this guy lost me. He lost me in that, I don't know, like it just didn't seem to be very captivating. That's also a terrible spot to leave him on, but that's how we're going to leave him. Yeah, it's pretty dry. Yeah, dry. That's how I'd describe it. Pretty dry. Even though he's kind of comical and he's a bit of a quirky guy, it just doesn't really resonate with me. So I'm gonna eject from that politely with peace and love. What's his channel called again? The Throttle Down Under. I've already given you the link, but look, that's where we're going to wrap things up here on this particular stream. But I also just want to jump back in and highlight what we discussed here. So originally this stream began as my pitch and my concept of what I want to do with this trip.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. With peace and love. So as it stands right now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull all of the streams that we've done, some the streaming from Steve and stuff, like that time when I was down at not Manana, somewhere down the coast in the lightning storm. I'm going to pull some New Zealand footage. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to pull it all, and I'm going to bring it to the stream. So this process is going to be ongoing. Like we're gonna work through this pitch. I'm going to get that footage together, and I'm going to bring it to you guys, and I'm going to say, I want to put together a 2-minute video, a 1.5-minute video that I can pitch out to these companies. Here's the footage I'm going to add to the video. What do you think of that? And then we're going to come up with a script that I'm going to actually present on camera, and it's going to be tailored to each of the companies that we approach. And every step of the way, I'm going to bring it to the stream so that we can all.
I'm not like some madman. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Marty, I want you guys to be as intrinsically intertwined. Fuck, that sounds like a lot of waffle. I want you guys to be involved in the process from here until the moment we start the drive. So that way you can share with me the journey from making a pitch to having a failed pitch, making a second pitch, having the failed second pitch, having one company that we never expected to come on board. You know, I want you guys to join me on this journey. We've got a year to get this shit together, but the steps are being taken. The first step, I believe, is to get the footage together, to present a video. And I'm not just going to sit here and make it. I'm going to go out and shoot a video on the beach and talk about, and I want it to be, I want it to be me, and I want it to be compelling, and I want you dudes to help me to make it the best pitch video ever. So just keep the jack flowing while doing it. Of course, yeah, they'll. I mean, yeah. You never mentioned Marty's ideas. So just a quick mention of Marty. So Marty, so he wants to do this trip regardless. He doesn't care about sponsorships. Well, I mean, that's probably the wrong word. He will do it irregardless. No, irregardless is not a word. Marty will do this trip, and I will too. Like, we will do this, and we could do it and not make any content at all, and he'd be happy. When I told him I'm going to approach brands to get a sponsorship deal, he was like, oh yeah, use the YouTube channel, yeah. Like, because when we talked about it, we didn't talk about it as a live stream. We talked about it as, hey Marty, you ever been to Ayers Rock? No, I haven't. Oh, Uluru, you can't call it Ayers Rock. You ever been to Uluru? No, man, I haven't. Do you want to? Yeah, at some time. I've got a van. You got a swag. We've done a few missions already. Let's do it. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So the idea of doing it was never about doing it for the content. But of course, you know the way I am, right? Everything's the content. So I said to him, I'm going to approach different brands. And he's like, yeah. So he's down for it, right? He's down. But it wasn't that we never both said, let's make a pitch and then let's go to Alice Springs. No, it was like, let's go to Alice Springs, go to Uluru, tick off a checkbox that should be ticked off to every Australian. And then I was like, and let's do it live. He's like, yeah, cool. So yeah, that's how it came about. That's where we're at right now. Where we're at right now, though, is I'm going to end this stream. Should I change my hardware encoder, my stream encoder from the X264 back to the Apple hardware encoder? I don't think it's been that bad. Has there been any glitches on this stream? Is it NetTV? You had a couple of glitches earlier. Do you reckon that was I did see hardware encoder overload. I did see that a couple of times. Never really saw that using the Apple hardware encoder. Should I swap it back or leave it as it is? I don't know. Either way, folks, I got to work tomorrow on a public holiday. I'm working. That's the way it is. And I could wait for the response, but NetTV maybe... It glitched at first, and then it's been a clean stream. It was just the Dig video that went weird. Now, was that on the video end or on the stream end? I feel like that might have been the video end. Interesting. I might leave it. I might leave the X264. We'll do another stream and we'll find out. The more that we do, the better. Hey, folks, thanks for being here. Dale, NetTV, it's just you two. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Catch you on the flip side. Get out of here. Go on, touch grass. What's that saying? Touch grass? I'm gonna go out and touch grass right now. Kicking it with Gives a Minute on Kick.